Hey, thanks for watching this episode of the Men on the Internet podcast. Before the show starts, I want to ask you for one thing.
If you like what you're seeing, and even if you don't like what you're seeing, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video as often as you can. It really helps us with our ability to grow this podcast and make it into the algorithms.
Even by just liking this video, it puts us in front of more and more people, and it gets us to grow the podcast, and so we can have more of an audience and more fun making these episodes for you. It takes a lot of time, effort, and energy to come up with the topics, film it, record it, and edit it, so we'd be really happy if you could just like this video at the very minimum, and that's it. Now let's get you to the show. All right, it's been a good minute. My man's been around the world.
Nah, yeah.
He ain't shy no more.
From the podcast that brings you the funniest, most sexual laughs. Blake, Dadrian, and my man, Tavares, back on the pod once again. Welcome back. How's life been for my man, Tavares? What's going on?
Life is phenomenal.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm happy. I'm amazing.
Your teeth are whitening right now.
They are. It's charcoal toothpaste.
Hey, I like it. Already dropping gems.
That's right.
Ain't even been a minute in.
I'm trying to do the same thing.
You about to get that charcoal?
I'm trying to do the same thing. I use the charcoal, but I don't look like you.
No.
So.
What a splash of Colombia.
All right. How's life been? What you been up to?
Life is good. Just working and trying to stay out the way.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Are you though?
Huh?
Are you really trying to stay out the
I
way?
am. I'm trying to be married and out the streets. I'm trying to be on the sidewalk.
Now, are you doing the thing where because you are still on the streets, you having a good time driving down the road, or you just you parked on the street?
I'm on the sidewalk.
You on the sidewalk?
So I'm
You
like,
walking.
I'm jaywalking.
Okay.
You can't jaywalk from the sidewalk, Tavares.
Yeah, you can.
Hell,
The sidewalk to the other side of the street, no?
you still crossing the streets?
I don't use the crosswalk.
Oh, he don't follow the rules.
No condoms, no.
Oh,
Psych.
we have Sexy Red in the building. Little Miss Raw Dog.
Queen.
Yeah, Raw Dog Queen. Okay, big nasty. All right, well, right now you based out of where?
Miami.
Miami. All right. So
I'm between Miami and LA.
Oh, he in between.
Yeah, he's in between.
Yeah.
He on two sidewalks. One in Miami, one in LA.
If we know Tavares for anything, he's gonna be in between. Now, Miami is a good place to be, like for people who's on the sidewalk jaywalking.
I haven't got too much Miami nightlife yet, so I don't know. I haven't done too much.
Man, that's what you said about all the cities you've been in. What's
I
going
don't
on?
be doing too much. I really be out the way. To be honest, I was talking to one of my friends today on Instagram. Well, we were on Instagram talking. He was like, if we ever dated, like, I would be so insecure dating you. And I'm like, why? He said, because I just don't believe that you're traditional. And I'm like, I am very much so. It's just I'm a little raunchy in my speech. But
Yeah.
I be chilling.
Well,
I be trying to be Russell Wilson, but these niggas want Future. So I'm giving it to him.
Wait.
I be trying to be nice, and then they be like, I feel
They
like
want them bad boys.
no, like the first month I'm dating somebody is like, I'm kind of like giving them my ass to kiss, and I'm trying to see if I want to lean in, and they be on me, and then as soon as
We
I
talking
be like,
figuratively or literally?
literally, and then as soon as I be like, okay, King, Black King, then they be like, get out of here, like they just treat me like trash.
What's the switch up all about?
I don't know what the switch up is about. I really don't know.
Do you switch up on people?
I don't.
Never.
I switch when you switch.
Wait, can you explain
I'm a
that
mirror.
again?
Like I match energy.
Initially, they nice. Initially they want the nice guy, but then they don't, or initially they don't.
I can't figure it out. My therapist can't figure it out. I can't figure it out.
But tell me what happens again.
It's like I just feel like Madonna said years ago, rejection is the greatest aphrodisiac.
Right.
So if you playing hard to get with a guy,
Yeah.
or you like, you know what I'm saying, not giving them your all, it's like they be on your bumper. And as soon as you be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna lean in, it's like the text messages stop, it's inconsistency, it's like, why you being weird?
Because they were after the chase, they weren't after you.
I guess. Well, I don't know.
So that's one thing. I was actually talking to this girl this morning about that. about dating and the version of yourself that you show initially. And I think that like in dating, we're told about all of this stuff. Like, hey, don't be too much of yourself. Like, don't do too much. Like, don't call till 3 days after you get the number. Right? There's all of these rules so you don't seem to this or to that. Yeah. But then I think that if you aren't just your natural self, eventually that shit's just not gonna work out. Because how long can you play the facade before eventually it shows up as that's not you?
Yeah, I do try to play nice. Even though I'm nice, I'm a kind person, but like I'll let a lot of stuff ride in the beginning because I'm trying to like see what the pattern is, or this is how they are, or what should I check, what should I not check. But then eventually I just be like, I'm not playing with you niggas. Y'all got me fucked up, and I'm not doing this no more. And I'm gonna just be raw with it and match your energy.
So now that you like, you would you say you're dating more purposefully now than previous times you've been dating?
I feel like I've always dated purposely, but I'm more like I'm not playing no game. Like I'm not doing what you just said. Like don't call. Like if I feel like I want to call or I miss you, I'm gonna say I miss you and I'm gonna call. And hopefully you meet me there. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
I don't want to play. I'm too old for the game.
So see, that's what my follow up question is gonna be. So now that you like, whatever relationship you be in, the next relationship you in, you want it to be the last relationship you in.
Absolutely.
Right? So do you feel like your level of the ability to put up with BS is like less? Do you think that maybe earlier when you were dating, you might give people more the benefit of the doubt than you are now because you don't want to spend 3 months, 4 months, 6 months getting to know somebody and realize it's not the one? Or do you think that you're still giving it that time? Because I know I'm in the same boat as you. Like my next relationship got to be my last relationship.
I never really gave the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I don't be. My problem is I don't want to deal with people's shit, but I want them to deal with mine. And it's like, and I feel like everything is a red flag. You know, after you done been to therapy, it's also like a thing where like I feel like everybody is Stop laughing at me. I feel like
yo, you said it out loud. That's a crazy part.
But I ain't really got no shit though for real.
That was a crazy part.
I can't deal with y'all, but y'all gotta deal with me.
Yeah, he said it so nonchalant. It was not even a period. He just went run on sentence.
I don't be doing nothing. I be asking these guys like, if you could change anything about me, what would you change? They never give me an answer, so I'm left to feel like I'm perfect.
Because you intimidating.
No, open your fucking mouth.
Yeah, but you dealing with people that are intimidated by you.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because all I take from it is I'm perfect. Which I don't think I am, but they don't never give me critique. But then I'll be like, well, can you change this and do this and do that? And they be like, damn, why you? And I'm like, well,
this is what I want.
Yeah.
I'm the prize.
But tell me what you want, and I'm going to tell you what I want.
Do you feel like that you have a good sense of what you're looking for in that forever partner?
Absolutely.
Like you have it down to a T.
I think so. I want somebody who, I like guys who are like naturally just good people. Kind. I like generous. I like quality time. I like people who are like, who keep their word. So if you tell me you're going to do something and you don't do it, that's like a huge deal for me.
All right, let me ask you this question. So Derrick Jaxn, you know Derrick Jaxn.
Yeah.
All right, so he went on a podcast and he explained that one of the reasons why he cheated on his wife was because they didn't match sexually. So he liked to be the guy who, he walks up on you in the kitchen, he rubs your butt, he's like grabbing you from behind. He used the word aggressive, but when I think of what he's trying to say, he's not really saying like aggressive. Right. He just means like he aggressively likes to show that he cares for you physically in a physical manner. So some people are saying like you should have been known, that she wasn't into that kind of stuff. So why did you marry her? Right. So with that being said, is that something that you've experienced yourself where you're like, this guy's perfect, but he don't match my energy in that way?
You can't be perfect if you don't match the sexual energy. So no, I've never.
I feel like the Derrick Jaxn way you talked about it is a little
clean.
Yeah, I don't think we got real deep because I don't think Derrick Jackson's looking good coming out of that situation.
Really? That's actually what I got from it. Okay, give it to me.
So this is my understanding of the Derrick Jaxn situation. So we all know Derrick Jaxn was the king of simp, right? That was his lane, going after all of the Kevin Samuels of the world, the Fresh and Fit of the world, right? He was that other lane, right? King of simp. Right, do everything for your queen. You all that kind of, and us men that were watching is like, there's something off about this dude, right? And So anyways, ended up finding out, it came out they got a divorce. They're getting a divorce. He cheated on her and all this kind of stuff. So then the story came out, and I wish I knew exactly who the podcast host was, because I think he did a very good job challenging Derrick Jaxn, at least bringing it up about things. So anyways, so the situation was Derrick Jaxn's previous wife was raped. I didn't know it was 2 days before they got together. I knew it was like
We're on YouTube, so she was graped.
Oh, right. YouTube.
Oh, okay,
Right.
sorry.
Graped.
And obviously that it was very soon, that the time frame for when that situation happened to when they started dating was very close.
Right.
And so obviously when someone's in that situation, there's going to be triggers and things like that. So what was happening was some of the stuff that Derrick Jaxn liked to do sexually would trigger his wife. And so she would shut down sexually when those things would happen. Let's say, for example, he grabbed her throat or he lifted her up on the ground, all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't that like she was against having sex with him.
Right.
It was a certain type of sex would trigger her, and then just naturally her body was shut down, which makes a lot of sense if you've dealt with that type of situation. So Derrick Jaxn, to me, came off really, really bad because he didn't talk anything about understanding why it was that way. And he made it just seem like because she wasn't giving it to me the way that I wanted it, that's what triggered me to go out and get it somewhere else.
It seems like they were not compatible from the jump.
Well,
if she had just gotten raped 2 days before they got together,
2 days.
Y'all were never sexually compatible if you were
possibly, but from what I took from the conversation was that he never tried to work it out with her. Like, give her the time to get to, like, they never had that conversation. It was just like, he just looked at it like, there's no way to get past this. But instead of trying to work it out or even getting a divorce, he said that's what triggered him to cheat.
I think some people just have too much trauma that you can't
fix it. Like, just like that. Yeah.
Like, they should have never been together, sound like.
She might not be ready to be with anybody.
With anybody.
You know what I mean?
Real.
But he made that choice.
Right.
And then, to me, it was the trigger to cheat that really was like, bro, you trying to get a bar off right now. And it ain't with me. King of Simp, nah.
But you know what, though?
Go ahead.
I understand where he's coming from. But what I will say is, the moment I saw him dressed up really nice and she was wearing that shower cap in that video, I said, y'all not supposed to be together.
Nah.
Y'all not supposed to be together.
Yeah, but the fact that he went on and content created for a whole however long, based off of this relationship, man, Derrick Jaxn, you gonna get no leeway from me, man.
So you guys don't think it's the real thing is like being triggered to cheat?
I think that
maybe not in that circumstance.
So I don't think triggered to cheat for me is from a moral perspective of me, and I'm not trying to claim that I'm clean and I've never cheated before. I have, but I don't think that it was. I don't think I was ever justified. Like cheating is never justified in my mind. Like if you know you're gonna go cheat, have that conversation, end that relationship, and go on and do your thing.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like among straight people, because I'm not straight if y'all couldn't tell. I hear a lot of times that women play coochie games. So like if y'all get into it or whatever, like they'll be like, okay, we ain't fucking for 2 weeks, or they like withhold. Yeah. And I feel like once you with somebody, granted you don't have to have sex every time they want to have sex, but you're obligated to that person to a degree to make sure that they're pleased. So if you go too long without having sex, you should assume that somebody's not after 3 weeks or a month, but 2 months, 3 months, people go dry spells.
Yeah, but you know what? What if they didn't have sex until they got married?
Well, that's horrible, and I hate that for you.
But even then, like to me, there's something deeper there. There's something deeper there that needs to be worked out. That's just
they're just not talking about.
Yeah, there's something there that it's manifesting in not having sex, but because I know women are usually sexually attracted more emotionally than physically, whereas with men, it's just it's just a
well,
Tuesday.
Like for me, like we can't like. Well, let me ask you guys this: how often do you guys in relationship feel like you should have sex weekly in order to keep a healthy relationship?
That's a good question. I think it.
And that could be intercourse or just something sexual.
Yeah, I think it depends. For me, the number is like 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
But I think it should be based off of like your partner should never feel like you're not attracted to them.
Right. What about you, Kelby?
I feel like
Let's say y'all live together. How many times a week?
Like your wife.
Oh, my wife.
Or
Yeah.
girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
He don't live with his girlfriend.
I have two answers to that.
Oh. Okay,
yeah.
let's
Because
hear
I
it.
wouldn't live with a girl until
No?
I get married with. No.
What?
I wouldn't.
So you would fuck her but not live with her?
I don't have to either. I don't have to. The relationships I've had that's the most nearest to me, that are the most important to me, I never slept with them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, so where does sex rank on your list of priority in a relationship? Is it like top 3?
I would say once it's introduced, it's gonna be top 3. But if it doesn't, if it's not a part of the relationship, and I've been in celibate relationships and it's been totally fine,
Right.
And I'm kind of a chameleon. Like I can
So
match
what's
whatever.
the difference between like a roommate and like a celibate relationship? Genuinely speaking, I don't know.
Tobias, usually this is my lane. I appreciate you.
I can't, but I want to be
appreciate
that person because maybe I'm trashy.
Tobias, you know how much I get eaten alive on this show for having that kind of question and being like exclusive dating, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what's the difference between? Go ahead, King.
I don't know.
Go ahead, King. Nah, that was a
King.
great question.
Well, okay.
Yeah, what is the difference?
What's the difference between what? Like
just kidding.
Between just being a roommate and then a celibate relationship, like
They be making out.
fulfillment? Okay.
They be cuddling. They be naked together.
And how do you stop it from
You don't gotta be
progressing?
naked together.
I'm just saying,
How do you stop it from progressing to sex?
Well,
discipline.
discipline. Well, I feel like we have that conversation early on. Like it's always told to me early, and so long as I'm told what we're doing, I can participate.
Now, would you continue to be like doing your thing on the side while you're while dating?
Black men don't cheat.
No, I'm not saying they cheat. Well, they're dating.
Right.
Not
we're,
together.
We're dating, so we're not together.
Because I know
so-
people who will like be like, I don't want to sleep with this person right now, but they still fucking, but they keeping it cute over here until they make it official.
You know what? I can't do that. I have a very hard time talking to two people at the same time. It's very hard.
No, I
for
didn't say
me.
talking to. I said fucking over here.
No, I
Talking.
can't. I
Okay.
can't. I my conscience gets to me. Like
That's
I just
sweet.
can't do that.
Same.
Lies. Yo, Tobias, come on. Are we gonna keep it on real? Or we not gonna keep it on
No,
real?
if I'm dating you, if I'm dating you,
You don't
goddamn.
gotta sit here and say other people. Like we talking about,
No.
yeah, this is Tavares law.
No, for real. I can only concentrate on one person at a time. If I'm dating you,
So you can have mindless sex. You ain't gonna be
no.
concentrating on.
But I don't date much. So once I'm either sticking and moving or we together. What's funny?
The fact that you try to play this this like dainty,
No, I'm for
traditional,
real.
all this kind of
I
stuff.
am.
There ain't nothing traditional about what you just said.
No, if I like you, I like you. And if we're dating, we're dating.
Right.
But if we fucking or not fucking, then we just fucking. And I know that made sense to you. Goddamn.
I love it. What about for you? So from perspective in a gay relationship, how do you feel like? How many times a week?
I want to touch every day,
Once.
at least. If we live together too, you can't be my man and not touch me. What's your problem? What happened? You acting funny tonight? Every day.
But you do feel like why?
Every day.
Why? Like why do you feel like you need that every day? Now
It's just part of.
and
It's
now-
just part of going to sleep. I'm like, we
Oh,
done
Lord.
both just got out the shower, we in the bed, like, bitch. What happened?
So I have a question. So I know for couples, usually it's not necessarily about they don't want to have it. It's more just like schedules, like energy levels, because they're dealing with, daily life, kids, maybe all this kind of stuff. So it's not necessarily about like I'm not attracted to you type
Right.
thing. It's more of like energy type.
But
of
I
thing.
think it's important to get with somebody who matches your sex drive. That's very important because
Gotcha.
you can't be with somebody who's like a morning person and somebody who's like a nocturnal. Like you got to be on the same kind of like pattern
Yeah.
with everything. I feel like.
So the reason why I ask is because most of my gay friends, they love talking about their sexual experiences and their relationships and all that kind of stuff. And they're mostly along the same lines as you.
As far as what?
Sex every day, all the time,
Yeah,
as much as possible.
Because men are animals. I mean, it's like we're visual You gotta feel it.
But so you would feel like if a guy, let's say it was 3-4 times a week, you would feel some type of way that maybe he's not attracted to me.
I've never had it. I can't. I don't. They can't keep their hands off me. No shade.
Excuse me.
And I'm not keeping mine off you.
Excuse me.
So,
have you ever dated someone that had like was very, let's say, career oriented, where they were putting in like 80 to 100 hours a week? Same thing though. They had the time to come back, have the energy to.
I dated one person like that, and they were someone who they were very sexual, but if they had a lot on their mind, they couldn't perform. Mm-hmm. So
they would try.
And
so it's the effort that counted.
No,
that relation didn't last too long.
That was an issue at the beginning. Because I'd be like, well, now why your dick don't work? I mean, and not to be rude, but like, hell, you need to meditate, or because so he would like, if he drank too much, he couldn't perform, and then if he had a lot of stress, he would like he couldn't perform, and I'm like, well, you got to figure this shit out.
So where would you rank sex as far as like all the other attributes you just mentioned?
Top 2.
What's one?
I don't know.
You just wanted to be nice and say top 2, but it's really one.
Sex is
and a distant second is everything else.
Sex is very important. It's very important.
Do you feel like you could be with someone who treats you different than you've ever been treated before?
That's the goal.
Well,
These niggas ain't treated me like shit.
Okay.
Treat you better than you've ever been treated before.
And don't want to fuck.
Not don't want to fuck, but the sex isn't as good as.
No.
So even if
I dated one. I dated a guy.
I dated
a guy. I already got in trouble about this bullshit. I dated a guy one time who literally nicest guy ever. I mean, was my type physically. Just like he had me mentally, like he was great, but he was very inexperienced in sex. And hold on, and I could have dealt with that with him, but he was very insecure about my podcast that I had where I talk about sex.
Yeah.
And then he would always compare his sex to the sex that I've had previously. So he made it an issue.
Gotcha.
I could have handled it with him, but it's like, you're not going to nag me and have bad sex. So, bitch, shut up.
I'm talking about someone who, because it seems like, so I guess on the flip side, let's say somebody, the sex is great.
Okay.
But
they ain't shit. That's always how it is.
So
good niggas never touch a good nigga.
Hey, that's a bar.
Yeah,
that really is.
That's a bar.
You should write one.
But that's only in the gay world, not the straight world.
Well,
because in the straight world,
I've heard my homegirl say the same thing.
Look, they be dealing with the wrong people.
I think we all dealing with the wrong people.
But I could tell you, I think a lot of it has to do with the way you look at things.
So I'm the problem.
A little bit. So hey, you the hey, look, in all of your relationships, who's the common denominator?
No, I definitely think my picker is off.
So here's what I look at, because I'm trying to find a wife now.
Okay.
Right?
Same.
But I've had my fuckboy phases.
Yeah.
So I know like what I was looking at in relationships was more chemistry, physical attraction, all that kind of stuff, without really valuing what it really takes to have a long-term healthy marriage and relationship. I put sex way, way high up. It is still high,
right?
But I think that ultimately the type of person, the way they treat you, the way, if your values and morals align, your visions on how you want your life to be aligned, that stuff actually is more
I
important.
believe you can have it all. I'm not going to say there's a way with the way that I think, but I'll say this. Any relationship that I've ever been in has been like an instant connection, and we like
chemistry on fire
off top.
Okay,
but I don't know how I would be able to respond if it was a slow burn. I find that's more with like men and women, because you find a lot of women who be like, when I met him, I ain't like him, I couldn't stand him, and I grew to love him.
Yeah,
I feel like with two guys, it don't work like that. It's like,
what if you took sex out of it?
No.
Like you said, we not gonna, no. What I'm saying is you don't have sex until you.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. Then, because I don't know about in the gay world, but
then we roommates.
But what I'm saying is
that's not true, though.
No,
that's not true.
Do you agree that when sex happens, especially if it happens early, Kelby, it changes the dynamic?
Oh, it does, absolutely. Let me tell you,
so you can't get to know somebody necessarily the same way as if there was no sex involved. Because I think sometimes once you've had sex with somebody, you just are like, I've already had sex, so I have to continue to have
I've
sex.
definitely met people who I knew that they were my type before we even had sex, and I would purposely avoid sex because I'm like, if this is good, I'm gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So I would avoid it for my own sanity.
But why wouldn't you do that same thing in when you're trying to look for a very serious relationship?
I thought y'all liked me. Why would y'all invite me on here to antagonize me?
It's therapy. It's therapy. It's getting too deep for tomorrow. Who knew? Who knew there was a trigger point? There was a trigger point. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
We'll keep it going. We'll change the subject. Go ahead, Kelby.
You don't have that. It don't got to be a roommate.
It's a roommate. If we ain't fucking, what we doing? Unless you with somebody out of lifestyle and you like the life more than you value the other stuff, which that happens often too. Or
But
you
that's
need help
what I
paying the
mean.
bills.
That's homosexuals is a very big
That's
thing.
a real
right now.
thing.
It's a very big thing. Right now.
I'm in the words of my mom, you gonna pay on the front end and the back end. You paying an ass, gas, or cash.
Ooh.
Nothing is free. So if you stand with me, we fucking.
Come on.
I don't want no roommate.
That's why I don't need to stay with anybody.
I don't think I would live with somebody if it
I love
wasn't
living with
sexual.
my guy.
I don't think I'd live with somebody if it wasn't sexual.
No.
That'd be too weird.
Yeah. No, it's not weird. It's like at this age, I don't. What we doing?
I don't even have roommates. I can't live with anybody. So the only person that's moving in is
Period.
someone that I'm getting all of my needs met.
Daily.
All right. You said every day.
Every day. Something sexual.
Something.
Yeah.
Something. It
It's
don't
gonna be head. It ain't gotta be full out.
What if just kiss?
No, that's not sexual. That's a kiss. Bitch, good morning. Like,
So you need a nut
yes.
every day.
Yes, absolutely.
And not on your own.
Not on my own.
Okay. I asked that because isn't there different forms of intimacy for you?
Yeah. Touch it.
He
Okay,
said,
fuck it.
he said, hey.
No,
He said,
intimate- no.
hand job. He said,
No, intimacy happens throughout the day. Text messages, just checking on you. You know what I'm saying? How's your day going? Like, that's intimacy. Then we get home. You greet me. You kiss me when you come in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Have you met somebody that doesn't look at sex the same way as you?
That I've been with? Like,
Just in general, like, do you feel like this is normal in the
oh, I meet people with different opinions all the time. We ain't together.
Okay. So this is specific to you.
It's specific to me.
Gotcha.
I know people do
This is what you want.
This is what I want.
All right.
Yeah.
And you should never feel afraid to
Yeah.
voice what you want. Because
Absolutely.
that's ultimately,
That's the only way you're going to be happy.
that's it. You shouldn't have to change what you want.
No.
Unless you're not worthy of what you want.
Well, true.
Right? That's a deeper conversation, right? All these girls that be over here, I need a 6 foot, making 500,000
Right.
with 3 baby daddies,
I mean, sometimes baby daddies happen by accident.
with looking like not snatched.
Thrice though?
Huh?
3 times?
Yeah.
3 accidents?
If I was thinking about this the other day. If I was able to have kids, I would have a 14-year-old, a 4-year-old, and I'd probably be pregnant now. But multiple
Wait,
abortions.
can you?
So that's, you know, how you be like, you know, you meet a nigga and you love him, you want to give him a baby.
Calculations?
Well, because my first love, he had me stupid, so I'd have a teenager right now.
All right.
And then the guy that you just asked me about as far as
Nice guy,
the
but
career guy
yeah.
who couldn't perform here and there,
yeah.
I'd have gave him a baby because he rich now. And then I seen it then. And then I'm kind of dating now, and I kind of
Yeah.
like this guy, so I'd probably give him a baby.
And then there'd be just multiple
But this
mistakes
gonna be
because you
my
said
husband.
multiple abortions. So you like,
But yeah, chop shop, baby. You tricked me.
so everybody gave you everybody could have got a baby. You just
No,
chose to
you're
get
right.
you just chose to keep it with the 3. So there really ain't that much of a difference.
If I give you a baby,
It's
I
like,
love you.
it's not like they couldn't have had a baby. It's just like I chose not to keep these.
I'm giving you a present.
You only kept
dead.
the 3,
Yeah.
but everybody could have got one.
No, everybody couldn't.
No. Like
But it's a
everybody.
full term, no.
Tavares, you
Ladies,
a
you
wild
know what
boy,
I
man. Don't people don't bring the ladies up in here. Ain't no traditional lady thinking the way you think.
Get that abortion.
Mr. Traditional Man.
Oh Lord.
Ain't no traditional lady thinking that way. Every guy could have
If
had
they
a
telling
baby.
the truth, they done took them Plan Bs. Like Skittles. Shit.
Oh man.
All right, man. So let's finish off the Derrick Jaxn conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you understand? I feel like I understand where he comes from because let's say he did wait and he was like, "This girl, this is a great girl. She has a great outview on life. The things that she says, we have great conversations. Maybe I could try to put the sexual stuff to the side." And
That's you not being honest with yourself. You have to be honest about your needs and your wants. I understand some people dating because they're planning for their future and you want to, a person that's stable and all of these things. It got to be chemistry and compatibility. You can't sacrifice one or the other.
They shouldn't have got married till everything was on the same page. And I don't think at all, because I think like there's some real therapy that needs to be done. She needed to heal some things.
Absolutely.
And if he loves her and he's willing to wait that out, but I think they should have figured that out before
get married.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Once again, because the thing that got me about it was he was trying to justify why he cheated. And I just don't think there's any justification once you take those vows.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Well, even being a
no,
boyfriend,
'cause I don't know how you can say that because he's ultimately a human being. And there are some guys,
but it's not justified. It's a mistake. It's a wrongdoing. Look,
I don't mean to say that it's right.
Yeah.
I just mean to say I can understand why he went down that path because he's not the first guy that cheated ever.
yeah, but it's all wrong.
It's wrong.
I'm telling you,
but-
I cheated and it was
but
still wrong.
It's wrong
Yeah.
for sure. It's definitely wrong. But I could understand why he did something wrong. Because if he's sitting there, all right, let me ask the bar assist. Let me ask
Understanding and justifying are two different things.
Actually, let me ask both of y'all this. If you sitting at home, you like things rough, you like to choke, you like to bend over in the kitchen, letting the oil pop while you cooking, and then she's pushing you off every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time you try to do something, she's pushing you off. Aren't you going to start
Absolutely.
seeing what your other resources, what your other options are?
Because I'm ignorant. So my old boyfriend, years and years ago, I started to I don't want to say fall out of love with him, but I started to become unattracted to him because I just mentally I was shut off, right? So we stopped having sex for 2 months before we broke up. And then he would initiate and I would start my stuff early. Ooh, my stomach hurt. I had milk. No, we ain't doing it. So eventually he stopped initiating. Then he had met this guy at work and they had a little whatever. And I was pissed because, bitch, we still together.
But were you stepping out on him?
No, I just wasn't fucking him. But long story short, we broke up.
Well, no surprise.
So
Yeah, but you
So-
still violated me because you my man.
I agree, because I think it's an immature response to do it the way that you're talking about. So if I'm in a relationship with somebody and there's something not working, it's an immature response to do something wrong because to justify something that's clearly wrong.
You need to figure out why I'm not having sex with you, not just keep pressing me for sex.
If you respect that person, because if you cheating, that's a sign of disrespect or being undisciplined, right? Either one. But the reason why I'm not giving Derrick Jaxn no bail is one, because he was the simp queen, right? And then number two is to justify it based off of something that you knew going into the relation. You didn't have to marry this girl if you knew the sex wasn't good when they were dating.
Yeah.
So why would you take it to the level of marriage where now if you believe in what marriage is, you promising under God that till death do us part. At that point, it was immature for you to even get married to this person. And then on top of that, you're going to use an immature justification after the fact. I'm not saying I don't understand human nature, but it's still not justified. And the fact that he was going off trying to justify, I was triggered and all this kind of stuff.
I think the bottom line is he's a fuck nigga, period. And then she just shouldn't have been dating nobody.
Nah.
So, period. We can move on from them.
All right, what else we got?
We got a lot.
Well, I have a question.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, of course, a few weeks ago, y'all saw the whole KeKe Palmer
Do
thing
you
with
love
her
me? Can you grind?
boyfriend, baby daddy. And then this week, I guess her and Usher dropped a video, whatever. How do you guys feel about her trolling her man? Because I was disappointed.
I'm extremely disappointed.
Yeah. And I love KeKe.
She's so fine.
She is. I feel like she dragging it at this point. And I really hate that they allowed the internet to break them up. I don't know what was happening before, but
Do you think they're really broken up?
Well, he released a statement to People Magazine.
Saying what?
We're co-parenting now, and you don't have to be in the same household.
You don't think this is all part of the
No.
rollout?
No,
I don't think so.
He not.
He ain't going for the bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm not even mad at him for feeling how he felt. I just don't like that he made it public.
That's the thing. I think he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Initially.
He was in the wrong.
I
don't like that she dragging it.
I think he in the wrong for multiple reasons. But go ahead, Kobe. You start.
Nah, tell me.
First of all, the fact that you just a baby daddy and not her husband, that's on you.
Okay.
So he kind of has a little bit of a double standard because when he finding her attractive and he's putting videos up of her twerking and talking about fat ass and all this kind of stuff, that's all good for public consumption. But then when she goes out wearing something that you're not comfortable with and then interacting with Usher the way that you're not comfortable with, like, these are problems that you already know.
But it's different when you're doing something for me and when you're doing it for somebody else.
I agree, but I don't think that the behaviors are different in the sense that if you egging it on here, you haven't set the standards where this is only for me. Like, if it's just for me, I ain't posting it for everybody to partake in, because if you...
I don't know about that, though, because there's some guys who love their girl so much, like, they gonna post it just so that everybody can see, like, what they missing out on.
Sure, but then you can't get mad if she out there showing it for public consumption as well. Yeah, you can. I think that's a double standard. If I want my girl to be if I want my girl to be private and not have a certain narrative out in the streets, I can't be the one that's partaking and giving that narrative.
Was she twerking on Usher? Or what
no,
was she doing?
I don't think that was the issue. I just think
she just had her cheeks out.
Yeah, he just didn't like the outfit. But regardless, he could feel how he feel as a man. That's cool. But I don't like that he made it public.
Put it on Twitter.
That's the big issue for me.
Yeah, I like.
But even that, I feel like they could have got past that. I don't know what they had going on before that, but I just feel like now it's just too much taunting to get back together.
Well, I just think that
he fine too.
I think that
I give him a baby too.
The fact that you keep it. Oh man, the fact that
Junior.
I think the fact that he took it to Twitter made me think that this is something that was bubbling.
Yeah,
because she's not usually known for wearing these kind of outfits and all that.
Well, she looks great.
Yeah,
so
she looks
good.
I don't want to
pop that baby out. She started looking.
I don't want to police women's bodies and all that.
No, but what I'm saying is she wasn't like, even when she was even before she was pregnant, she wasn't really like cheeks out and stuff like that.
Now. She's feeling her sexy and she should.
But what I'm saying is it could be something that's going on internally where she feels like she needs to. I think that maybe he's not making her feel beautiful no more.
I don't think it's that. I think she's genuinely just feeling herself for real. And that's okay. But on another topic, I have a question. Well, similar.
Well, Kelby, go through. What do you think about this first?
First of all, I think she's real disrespectful. Number one, for the music video. I don't care if we're co-parents or together or not. I'm the father of your child.
Yeah.
Whether we together or not, you're going to have to respect me. Because if you let me busting you and you have my baby, you're going to have to respect me.
Right.
Period. So you doing this video talking about, what did she say in the Usher video? But I'm a mom or something like that. She said something like
she
that.
trolling him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Usher and all your people remove that expeditiously. Right now. I don't do that at all. I don't play around with that at all. And the fact that she's doing that for the internet, she's letting strangers control the fact that now she's a single mother. Like, come on now. And I know after the whole situation happened, she said, I know what y'all think, but I love my man. Remember that? And then they broke up anyway? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's wrong for putting it out in public.
Yeah.
But okay, he felt away and he put it out, and he left it up. Fine.
If they did stay together, it would still be strained because the public already turned on him. So it could potentially mess up her brand. So I'm trying to see if she made a decision from a brand standpoint or because she genuinely wanted the relationship to be over.
It's too late for brand deals at this point.
No. A guy could definitely come along and fuck your shit up.
Understood. But y'all
she's
have
not
a
known for
baby
drama.
together. That's not just.
I agree.
But also, I wonder, like, the kids gonna grow up and watch these videos, right? But I have a question, because do you remember when we were talking about that Gabrielle Union, when she was talking about her previous relationship, about how, like, she felt validated to cheat because she made more money and paid all those bills? Do you think that if you're, like, traditional roles, right, the man's supposed to be able to provide for the female, right? Let's say those roles were reversed. Do you think as a man and your woman is the main breadwinner that you should have to move a different way?
I think you adjust for your household. I think there's more than one way to provide, even if you're not the breadwinner.
Okay.
And I think it's up to the woman. If she's the one that makes more money, she probably would have to carry herself differently in the house just to make the man feel like the man. Cater to the ego a little bit, but he got to also be confident in his shit too.
Absolutely.
It's not the onus is not on her. So
do you think that in that situation, because this is what the internet are saying is like she makes a whole bunch more than he does, right? Does he have the right to dictate what she wears and what she doesn't wear?
He's still a man. You still feel how you feel about your partner,
right?
So I don't feel.
What
feel
does
no
the
way
money
about
have
that.
to do? With
Yeah, the money ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
So
she chose him.
Yeah,
she
kinda
chose him.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, the baby didn't come here by accident.
Right.
It didn't come through divine intervention.
Sure.
So,
But they're not like he hasn't taken it to.
But they were
not
engaged.
married.
They were talking about getting married because they do their podcast together. I watched. They talked about it.
They're
they have a
engaged.
podcast?
I didn't know they were.
Yeah, she has a podcast and he works with her network, but he also comes on and off her show.
Oh, I didn't know they were
and gives
engaged.
commentary.
I didn't even know they had a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, it's even worse now.
Well,
So
now he's a former employee.
So you saying Kelby, you said that it doesn't matter, like money doesn't matter as far as those type of things. You tell me why.
When you make the decision to make it more than money,
Yeah.
to be a partner, to be somebody's father, you go into that relationship understanding what the financial dynamic is.
Right.
So once everybody is okayed and agreed, you make $1 million a year, I make 100,000. We are both understood that does not change the structure of this relationship.
but you could look at Nicki Minaj and her husband. She makes all the money.
Yeah.
I still don't think she's gonna go out there and disrespect him and
never.
She worried.
like she love him.
But so I don't know if it's also love. I think it's also the way he probably carries himself in the relationship, like you mentioned. But what I am saying is that it's easier for women to test when they have that ability. So I think you
women
have
gonna
to
always
be.
test you in general. That's
But
just
what
their
I'm
nature.
saying is like I think that one thing that men don't realize is when you're dealing with these ultra successful women, your confidence level has to be on 180.
Yeah.
It can't just be at 100 because they're always going to get attention. They're always going to be wanting to feel some type of, they just look at the world differently when they have that confidence that they don't need a man for financial gain.
But do guys in general? Do you guys like women with large personalities, or do you prefer somebody more demure? Is that intimidating to get a girl who has a lot of?
I don't think large personalities. It depends. Like, what do you mean by large personality?
Well, I feel like
That's
a lot
like
of
wants to be center of attention type of thing.
no, just because you're a big personality, don't mean you want to be center.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. What is
But
your
some
definition?
guys don't want you to have any attention. Most guys want their woman like quiet and in a corner.
My thing is I don't care what my woman's personality is as long as she's always respectful and understands, never disrespect the relationship.
I understand. I don't know if that answered the question.
But it because
Have you ever dated a woman with a large personality
absolutely.
and it just worked out fine?
I mean, we're not together, so it clearly didn't work. But I don't think that was the reason. Where I think sometimes large personalities is when they don't handle male attention, shut it down in a way that's respectful to the relationship.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Is like for me, like because sometimes usually large personalities, obviously they're good looking, all that kind of stuff. They're gonna get a lot of attention because obviously squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you're like the person that's the center of attention, guys are gonna be looking at you, right? If you don't shut that down in a way that I feel like is respectful to the relationship, is that's where it would become a problem.
What about you?
Sometimes I think the ones with the big personalities just be embarrassing me.
Damn.
Yeah, like it depends what big is.
Well, like KeKe's personality, she's charming. People love her.
I don't necessarily
pizzazz.
find her really charming.
Really? I love KeKe.
I love her too.
Yeah,
I feel
she's
like
done no wrong. Up until, but she,
I feel like she's fine, but I feel like she also just seeks attention a lot. Like she's trying her best to make sure that everyone has an opinion about her. That's how I see her. So to me, a large person, it just depends. Like there are some people who have to understand how to read a room.
Right.
And there are some times when I see KeKe, I just be like, why? Like, why does this need to be a thing? The whole cheeks out thing, like, I couldn't be the one.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
that couldn't be my girl.
Yeah. I couldn't do that.
Okay.
I couldn't do it.
But that's what I'm saying. She never was that type. So something is going on in that relationship where she feels like she needed to be that type.
I don't think it's that. I think she genuinely had a baby. She still feels good about herself. She has the body she probably always wanted, and she just like she's a young woman exploring her sexuality. And
She could do that.
That's
without
different.
any,
That's different. So that's where I disagree with you.
uh,
Because you could be attractive, you could be all this kind of stuff, and not make your man feel uncomfortable.
but it's new to you. She don't even know how to move in this new body because it's new to her. You know.
What are we talking about? Like, what's that have to do with having your ass out and your boy don't like that?
Well, look, I ain't got a man and I ain't no woman, so fuck. I don't know. He yelling at me and shit like.
I just don't understand the point. Like, to me, it's like, yeah, I understand you're trying to find a way to look beautiful, and it's like, I'm doing this for me. But like, if you're doing it for you and it's something that reasonably makes your man feel uncomfortable, if it's like you can't show no shoulder and he's feeling uncomfortable,
Right.
or like you can't wear a dress, he makes it feel uncomfortable. Like, I understand if it's unreasonable, but I think you pull 100 men, majority will be like, nah, I don't want my girl ass out, like cheeks out at a concert.
Yeah.
You know, twirling around with Usher. I don't think that's.
Does she get in a pass because she's also an entertainer as well?
You don't gotta
Absolutely
be
not.
cheeks
That's an
out.
excuse. That's an excuse right there.
If she, I swear to God, if her cheeks weren't out, there's no issues.
Okay.
If she was just twirling around with he didn't even really talk so much about what she was doing with Usher. He talked about the outfit.
Right.
That was it. If the outfit was different, the same drama.
So transitioning out of that, how do you guys deal with if you're in a relationship and you both have a strong opinion on something, but you can't come to a mutual whatever? How do you like get past disagreement?
That's a great question, because I haven't.
Because I don't have conflict resolution. I don't know anything about it.
I know what I'm gonna attempt to do in the future, but I haven't done. It hasn't been in action yet. Kelby, you're the only one that probably has had these success.
Yeah, you seem very understanding.
I can be understanding up to a certain point.
Okay.
Then after that, I have my opinions on things, and you should probably try to understand where I'm coming from.
But they feel the same way. This is common for me, by the way, in my situations. It's like, we feel how we feel. What's the resolution? Because
Well, where I'm coming from is before I say anything, I attempt to see everything from everyone's point of view.
mm-hmm.
So the answer that I'm gonna give you, the response I'm gonna give you, is gonna be fair and balanced for everybody.
Okay.
So if that still doesn't work, you're wrong.
Okay.
I also think it depends. Like, ultimately, there's going to be non-negotiables, and there's going to be stuff that you have to compromise on, right? So it's just about, hey, is this fight non-negotiable,
Yeah,
or is
but
this
if
a
both
compromise?
people feel strong about how they feel,
It could be a non-negotiable, and maybe that's not the relationship that we
I
need
ain't
to be
saying
in.
throw the damn relationship away. I'm
But
saying
it
it's
could
an
be
argument.
that. It could be that way, though, no? It depends. So every argument, you have to decide, is this worth breaking up over, or if it's not? Because ultimately, if it's not worth breaking up over, somebody has to compromise. Otherwise, if you're not compromising, if I feel very strongly about this, you feel very strongly about that, and I don't want you to do it, and you still do it, I have to decide: am I still staying with this person, or is this too much for me?
I feel like that's
What
an
kind of
extreme.
arguments y'all be having though? Because we
Not
have
arguments. I'm
discussed
just saying, just like, let me see. Come back to me.
What about the same situation? So let's say, how do you feel like? So if you see both sides, you see KeKe, she wants to be wearing this outfit. Let's say this outfit is really important. She thinks she looks great, all this kind of stuff. Her man is like, this outfit makes me feel really, really uncomfortable.
What outfit is worn now? So it's like, if she do it again, then it's like, okay.
No, what I'm saying is,
Before
I'm
she even
assuming
goes-
they
Oh,
had
well,
this
he's-
conversation
going
before he left.
She said he saw her leave the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
So let's say they had a discussion. She still wore it, even though he said, I don't like this outfit.
It probably
the
would
disrespect.
depend. Like if I was KeKe and I put my shit on, I thought I was cute. It depends on how you come at me when I'm leaving the house. Like if it's respectful, like, hey. Well, I probably can't even say that because I like a nigga to tell me, don't put that on. Where you going?
And
I'm
the
gonna do
whole
it too.
point- and the whole
And I'm
point-
gonna grab you.
And the whole point, the whole point is, it doesn't matter what he said. You
If
want to
we
wear it
got into
regardless.
an argument,
Yeah,
and
she
I
wanted to wear it
make you
regardless.
mad, and then I don't know, whatever happened. But
So what I'm
take it
saying
off.
is this: either this is like the KeKe, what's his name? Derrick?
Darius.
So KeKe and Darius, clearly, this ended the relationship. This is the final straw, or it was the whatever. Personally, to me, I think there was stuff bubbling.
Yeah.
And
probably.
this ultimately became the final straw. I don't think it's because it was text message. It was on Twitter. I don't think it's because of the fan base. I don't think it's because of, whatever her, like, press, all that kind of stuff. I think that she was starting to move a certain way that he didn't like her moving. Ultimately, she wanted to do the ultimate fuck you. And so she wore this outfit knowing that he didn't want the outfit out. He immaturely took it to the public, and then that ended up being the reason why they split. But I think if they're honest about it, this isn't the only reason. There's a ton of stuff underneath it that we don't know about.
She probably been disrespecting him for a while anyways.
Or feeling like he's not good enough for her.
I don't think she felt that. She chose him.
She chose him, but she chose him. So what I'm saying is sometimes people choose people without really thinking it through.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately now they have a kid. Now maybe the conversations are different from when they were just talking, when they were like kidless and all that kind of stuff, and they were just fucking and going out and all that kind of stuff. Now as a mother, now they're talking about parenting decisions. They're talking about financial stuff and all this kind of stuff. Kids obviously are more expensive. They're talking about how do we want to raise them, all this kind of stuff. And maybe if he's popping off thinking that it has to be my way and all this kind of stuff, she's like, that's not what I want. Or maybe now her mindset's different because she's thinking from a mom perspective versus just a girlfriend perspective.
You know what I think? I think you're very close to on it, but I think he came in thinking, I'm still gonna be the traditional man that I think that I am.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that she says, you're only in the spot that you're in because of me.
Yep.
So you better stay in your lane. And if you tell me not to wear something with my cheeks out, I'm the man when I want to be.
I'm the prize.
And you shut your mouth. And that's why when you tweet that out, don't disrespect me because I put you in your place.
Well, if that was all said, then they need to break up. You can't be talking to nobody like
that. Was a long ass paragraph.
What else y'all got?
Nah. But hey, shout out to KeKe. Shout out to Darius. And most importantly, I hope that baby grows up very loved and doesn't have any ramifications or repercussions because of this very, very public breakup.
The baby will be fine.
News. Yeah, it'll be fine. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back after this. All right, welcome back to the show. So we're starting off with what is this, Sunil? Tell me.
Another Disney, not scandal, but Disney in the news again. Mm-hmm. So we all seen Snow White. Have you seen Snow White before?
Years ago.
Mm-hmm. So there's a new live action Snow White that's being made. The actress who's playing Snow White is a beautiful woman by the name of Rachel Ziegler. Mm-hmm. You know who she is?
No.
So anyways, she's I think she looks Latin to me, but I don't know. The name doesn't sound Latin, but she might be some
Greek.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, so the movie comes out in 2024. But she's been talking a lot of stuff about the movie in the media, even though there's not even a preview out or anything like that. She's just talking about it. I don't know if she's supposed to be talking about
What
it.
is she saying?
So first thing is during the strike, she came out and she was like, if I'm going to be wearing Disney historic outfit for 18 hours a day, meaning her Snow White outfit, I need to be paid for every single hour and be getting all the residuals as well. So that was her first take. So she
was on what?
So she feels like she should get paid for every time the movie is being promoted or used or streamed. Okay. She should get all of that money. So that was the first take she made. Then recently on an interview, she mentioned how basically the old version of Snow White was pretty outdated, pretty misogynistic. These are like
so. Is she slamming the movie or is she promoting the movie?
She's slamming the old Snow White and saying they've updated it. So the new Snow White doesn't have any 7 dwarfs. Okay. The new Snow White, she's saying, has nothing to do with the love story. She's like, the old Snow White had a man who was basically stalking the girl and made it all about her. Made it all about her and this love story, whereas this new version of Snow White, the main focus isn't the love story. It's about a woman who's empowered and yada, 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 yada. Yeah. So pretty much we've seen a lot of these Disney movies.
Girl, fuck your empowerment. Where the niggas? Bring these doors. Shit.
I didn't even need to ask a question. Yo, so basically, obviously Disney's been doing kind of these quote unquote woke movies, and they haven't been doing very well at the box office. But give me your take on what you think about a Snow White story with no 7 dwarfs and not about centered around a love story.
I'm trying to see why she talking. First of all, whatever she negotiated in her contract, why are you talking about what you need to get paid for if you ain't getting paid for it?
That's a wild take first, but time out. She also said she never had watched the Snow White movie before she signed on to be Snow White.
So she's talking about the old Snow White and she don't even know what the old
She didn't watch it till she signed on to be Snow White.
I don't know. It's foolishness. It's giving white privilege. Shut up, girl. Be happy you got a job in this fucking strike, bitch. Get your check, girl. Sit the fuck down.
How do you feel about how do you feel about these movies that were obviously created in a different time and period and then like upgrading them to what like society is now?
I don't mind a reboot as long as it's good, but I also don't need inclusion in every fucking film.
Talk to me about that, because I think that's a, especially coming from a gay man, I think that sometimes,
like when I saw The Little Mermaid, which I loved, The Little Mermaid was excellent. I love how they had different colored mermaids and stuff. Did you guys see the movie?
I haven't seen it.
It was so good. So I like that kind of inclusion, but I don't think we got to make everything gay. I don't think we got to like add.
So talk to me about that. Why? Because I think one of the sentiments is we do. Like we need more inclusion. We need more representation.
I think representation is absolutely important, but I think I think with some shows and some reboots, it's like OD.
Okay.
Like just.
Where do you think the line is drawn? Like what do you think had been tasteful? What do you think was a little too much?
I don't think anything has been too much because I want to see me represented, but it's like, I don't know. Everything is not an agenda against the community, and like, I feel like we be a little sensitive sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I did see that Little Mermaid movie.
It was good.
He didn't like it.
You ain't like it?
It was boring.
Why was it boring? It was the same thing.
I feel like there was parts of it that was fine, but I feel like it wasn't anything to do with the actual acting or anything like that. I just feel like the storytelling aspect was just boring.
It was the same as the original.
Maybe I didn't like the original.
I like the thing. It was great.
You didn't
even
like
if I
the
didn't like it, I
live-action
would support
Lion King either, though, right?
Now the live action Lion King was just a poorly made film.
So like, I don't think he just likes the live action.
You just don't like remakes.
I did like Aladdin.
With Will Smith.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
That one was really good. I don't know.
What about Mulan?
Mulan wasn't. It wasn't very good.
I don't remember any of these movies.
It's kind of tough to make, I think, a live action reboot. Like, it's tough because the cartoon versions are very sentimental, and like we grew up watching them, and like they were very well done. I would say in their time frame, and that they hold so true that you could watch them now and still like be like, this is a good movie.
Well, they're doing a reboot of The Color Purple.
Yes.
The stage play.
Yes.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
I haven't. What's it look
I
like?
think it's amazing. What do you think?
Who's in it?
Taraji, Fantasia, Danielle Brooks. Oprah's producing it. Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
Halle.
Halle from The Little Mermaid and Chloe and Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey. Chloe and Halle.
Oh, they're both in it?
No, just Halle.
Oh, just Halle. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
That's
really?
great.
I saw the trailer. I saw it on TikTok on Oprah's page, and
it's not a reboot of the film. It's a reboot of the stage play, the musical.
Which would probably be good.
That's good for me to know.
Yeah.
Because I was a little confused when I saw. I was like,
there's a lot of singing in this.
Yeah.
But there's so many good talent in there. It's hard for it to be bad, I feel like.
But sometimes those super films, when they put all the talent in there, that's when they start going
which
a little
one?
bit. Let's see. Think Like a Man 2.
I enjoyed it.
The first one was the one. The second one,
I
was the
wasn't
Kevin
mad.
Hart show with everybody else as.
I don't think Kevin Hart is funny anyway. Don't cancel me.
You're not the only one to think that.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Hart's hilarious.
Really?
That's what you have to think, buddy.
I don't even think Dave Chappelle's funny.
Oh, that I can't. I definitely
Never got in.
think-
He was huge when I was in college. I never got into him.
I just started finding Dave Chappelle funny this year or last year.
Yeah.
I never.
It's not my style.
Funny. Yeah, no. But yeah, no. This girl talking about the thing. First of all, I think she's talking about it in this way because of the strike. She's talking real bold because of the actor strike. So she, in her mind, she's thinking, "Yo, look, if I'm aware." She's on her Monique right now. Remember when Monique?
Yeah.
No disrespect, my girl.
No. I'm saying if she's saying I gotta wear the Disney princess outfit for 18 hours a day to promote the film, which on average, when the actors go out and they promote the film, they don't get paid.
Wait, they
extra.
want her to wear it while she was on promo?
Yeah, that's essentially what she's saying, right?
Is
No,
that
I
what-
thought she was talking about
on set.
Set.
Right.
Well, if she's
Which
wearing
is
it on
Disney.
set, then that's
Yeah,
That's
but you
what she
already
was
getting
talking
paid what you
about.
get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
No,
Maybe
but
do
she's
that.
saying that she should be getting a portion of every time it streams.
She
Well,
is.
is
It's
it-
called
yeah,
the residual check.
right.
She's just probably upset that she.
So they want
But the
more of
movie
it.
ain't even came out yet. You
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah,
get
so
nothing
she
yet.
don't even know what she's talking. Like
Exactly.
She's just
I
talking
think
just
she's
to be
talking
seen.
about promo.
That no. That's not what she was talking about. She's saying 18 hours on set.
She's
Girl,
already
that's
getting
a
paid for
movie.
that.
But that's what the actor strike, they said that they need more. Right? Remember? We talked about it.
I'm lost now because
No, but-
she's gonna get paid millions of dollars.
And that's
to do
part.
something.
That's part of it. The main thing. So the other interview really didn't have anything to do with the strike. The other interview had to do with the movie being the old version of Snow White, being a referendum on that. That was misogynistic. There was a guy that was a stalker. The man is a stalker. It was all about him trying to get with this girl and her being pretty much beholden to just the love story. Whereas this story is
She looking
more.
for a moment.
This story is supposed to be more about the leader that Snow White is.
All right, let me say something. Because Disney, I'm a fan of Disney's business, but sometimes some people got to put them in their place. Number one, Disney tries to do this thing where all of their old content now, they put a warning on it, like this could potentially be triggering because it could be misogynistic, it could be racist, it could be this or that. Either share the movie or take it down. Because if you feel like the movie is racist or you feel like it's this or it's that and it doesn't
Why you
represent
still
your brand, then
promoting it,
don't put it up.
Exactly.
Too much
Sell the
sensitivity
IP.
going on. I
Sell
can't.
the IP. So this girl probably has a battery in her back from Disney to say like, look, we're trying to do this new wave of sensitive content. You have our permission, because I know guaranteed if I hire somebody, they're not gonna go around talking about me like that, and I'm paying you to do
Right.
it.
Right.
It's
You're
a
not gonna disrespect
cartoon.
me.
I
Yeah.
like stop.
Yeah, so I think if she's talking about the outfit of wearing it for 18 hours a day, like, is she upset?
Those are
with,
two separate interviews.
Oh.
So
okay.
the first thing that came out when she was talking about Snow White was talking about the strike and her was advocating for actors getting more of their likeness and all that kind of money, residual income money.
Right.
And her talk was like, if I'm wearing, but the thing that triggered is because if I'm wearing this iconic outfit of Snow White for 18 hours a day, I deserve to get more money, basically, is what she was saying.
Well, what's more money?
lost
How
there.
much does she get paid right now?
Yeah, I'm talking about clips. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what the
I don't know.
follow-up
It
questions
sound-
are.
it
And I
sounds
thought
like
it was.
she's young
I
and
thought we're not
entitled.
even supposed to be talking about movies and TV shows during the strike. Like, why is she doing the interviews?
I think this was previous, like I think this
Oh,
was
right,
all
when it was
build
coming
up
up.
to the
Oh,
strike.
okay, I
Yeah,
got
I've heard about her since before the strike, and I don't know. I think I think maybe somebody's pushing on her, or she could just be 24 years old and
She
thinks
sound like
that
a loose
she
cannon.
knows.
She trying to be woke,
she just
bro.
knows
Shut
what
up.
she thinks she knows what she's talking
she thinks
about.
this is what she's supposed to be doing.
Right.
Exactly. And she's
Exactly.
empowering, quote unquote, other women, and whatever. But
Yeah.
ultimately, you got a dream role, a dream job that a lot of people wish that they had, and you probably, at the very least, you're getting paid $500,000 to do this. I don't ever want to say shut up and dribble, but sometimes you just gotta.
You might want to wait till your movie come out, bitch.
Yeah.
Before you be trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is just the part that one, she didn't watch Snow White before she got this role, which is crazy.
Well,
to
she's
me.
24, so I could see that.
Yeah, but don't you think if you're
Do some
auditioning
research.
for this, you would
Yeah.
watch the movie first,
True.
and then secondly, like just shitting on the old version of the film. You know what I mean? To uplift this version of the film. So, I mean, I think this is on par for what Disney does. I agree with you guys. I think that Disney has a say in this. I don't think this is just a rogue actress. Just
I feel like she's actually marching to her own
Well,
script.
the reason
Because
why I
Disney
say
is
that-
very calculated, very.
Well, the
like,
reason why I say it, Tavares, is because
the
they obviously changed the script, right? She's talking about a new script that doesn't have dwarfs in it, that isn't revolved around a love story.
That's
revolved
probably why
around-
she didn't watch it in the first place. She was like, "Why do I need to watch the old movie
If it's
this
not
is
gonna
a
be done
totally
right?"
different?
Sure.
It's a totally different thing with the same name."
Well, she's willing to talk shit about the old movie. So I think that kind of triggered some people too, because it's like the sentiment of, hey, this is what created this role for you, and you're shitting on it, saying that shouldn't have been the way the movie was. So I don't know. I just think this is on par for what Disney is. And unfortunately, what also is on par for Disney is not having box office success. So we'll see if this one does or doesn't.
I love you, Disney. If you want to put me on something.
Yeah, I'll be in a thing, and
my
I'll
potty
be real
mouth.
nice. They paid me very kindly.
Yeah.
I
Baby.
really love them as a company.
You want me to be a stalker dwarf or what you want me to do?
All
You want me to
right.
be snow black?
I did want to get your
I got a little dress in the back.
Snow Black's kind of wild because my mom went to something completely different. I'm like,
always got
My
one.
dress gonna be like off the shoulder.
I'm like, what kind of snow we talking about with it? All right. Well,
They gonna call you Black Ice.
Black ice.
Black Ice.
but I wanted to get more context about you talking about, hey, we don't need to be up in everything, the representation, because I think that what I've been seeing mostly is like, we need more of everything.
No, I think we need more of everything. I don't want to be misunderstood.
Okay.
All of my community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
But
right.
I just feel like in general, not even LGBTQ specific, everybody's super sensitive
Right.
and in the uproar about the wrong shit. It's like, just let shit be, and where it fits naturally it fits, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. Nothing needs to be force fed.
And sometimes on both sides, right? Everything doesn't need to be we don't need to be marching for everything.
We can march.
What I mean by it, I
Like-
think sometimes on the right, they think that everything is an agenda and everything is like this narrative pushing this LGBT thing.
I think if there's something that comes out that doesn't include us, then we don't need to make a thing about why we not in here. But also, if we speak out or we are seen in something, people don't need to be in an uproar about they trying to force this on our kids. It's like, we exist. We're gay. Your kid is probably gay. Your mama probably a dyke or whatever. Don't cancel me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, it's regular sexuality.
But I have a question.
What?
So you remember the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing?
Who's that?
the Bud
okay.
Light.
Who?
So it's go ahead.
She's
Is
a trans woman who was placed on a Bud Light can, Bud Light beer.
Okay.
And people kind of were like, first of all, Bud Light is like white trash people beer, and it has nothing to do with LGBT. So a lot of people revolted against that because they thought that the marketing campaign was like
Random.
random.
Yeah.
Random.
Sounds random.
Yeah, it's like the flagship drink of like hillbillies,
Right.
You know, but then they put this like 25-year-old, 27-year-old,
And were they marketing it as she was trans, or they just thought it was a woman?
she's like
She's
a
like a very
trans,
famous social media influencer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
trans person. She went to the White House,
Oh.
and all this stuff. So people were like, why does she need to be on a Bud Light can?
Yeah, that seems misplaced.
And I
Yes.
think also mixed with the messaging behind it. So like the news head of marketing or whatnot, she came out and said the reason why we're including Dylan Mulvaney is because right now Bud Light has a real fraternity kind of reputation. And we're trying to move away from that to be more inclusive and be able to like reach a bigger audience, because if we continue down the lane that we're doing right now with just the fraternity boys, like Bud Light won't be able to survive. Since that point, I think they've lost like multiple billions of dollars because now nobody's buying Bud Light. That's one of them moments with keeping it real. Keeping it real,
I
it
feel
goes
like
wrong.
they trying to make something. It's like you trying to make fetch happen. It has the marketing and it has nothing to do with it. It shouldn't. I don't know. It's like forcing something.
What do you think? What
If,
did you
if
feel
your
about
business
it?
is already good and the frat boy thing is working, just keep it as that. Or put like Pamela
I don't
Anderson or
understand.
something.
Why is it the frat boy thing is not going to work? It's worked for 50
It's been
years.
working. Now y'all lost billions of dollars.
Yeah. So she came in. She was kind of on this wave of like the new, like kind of new inclusive, all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I think she got this job and wanted to make her mark. And this was the way that she was able to do that. And unfortunately, it didn't work. She's fired now.
Right.
Oh, she did get fired?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, the marketing lady. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the worst. Like, they were just had...
That's so random.
What's that motorcycle thing? Motorcycle
You
event?
don't even equate women with beer.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Definitely not trans. You know, it's a very, like Confederate
give it a
flag.
slow burn. Put a woman in there first.
You know what I mean? Like, they might not even... it's a very Confederate flag alcohol. So, like, to now all of a sudden try to... I think it's just this... What you were talking about, I think a lot of people don't have the understanding that you have, that it's like, yo, just because this battery's in our back right now, that doesn't mean we just like take it to wherever.
But I even understand that as an executive, if you want to come in and make something and you know, put your mark down, but everything has to make sense. It can't just be a random placement.
And I don't think you have to shit on the past to be able to like move forward in the future. Like that's the same thing that I think was happening with Snow White. I think that if she just was saying we're adapting a new story and it's going to be more around
for a modern day audience,
exactly, versus like the old version was shitty and it had a stalker and all this kind of stuff. Like, and even this, if she was just like, look, you know, Bud Light has had a certain reputation for so long. We want to make it more inclusive to other people versus being like the old way of this frat boy.
Whoever
thing
gonna drink Bud Light
gonna
drink Bud Light. They don't give a fuck about no marketing.
But
I don't even watch cartoons. I mean, I'm not cartoons. I don't watch commercials.
But I think I would challenge you on that because they do, because of this marketing, the same people that used to drink Bud Light aren't drinking it no more.
Well, yeah.
They've lost more. Like, for the first time in the history of beer, they're not the number one beer. It went to Modelo.
But the crazy thing
Drink
is,
Hennessy.
Modelo is distributed by the
I bet.
by the same company.
Yeah, it's all Anheuser-Busch still raking, but the brand Bud Light ain't doing well.
That's wild. All right, what else you got?
So, you know, we were talking about we needed an album, and like the album of the summer. Mm-hmm. We might not have gotten the album of summer, but we definitely got them tours of the summer because everybody touring.
Everybody touring.
Everybody touring.
The only one that matters is Queen Mother.
So let's talk about it. So Beyonce's touring.
Yes.
Drake is touring.
Drake.
The Weeknd's touring.
The Weeknd.
Taylor Swift's touring.
Taylor Swift is touring.
50 Cent Busta's touring.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's touring with Busta Rhymes?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was.
I didn't know he was with Busta.
I didn't know he was with Busta.
I love Busta Rhymes.
I already got them tickets. So I'm going September 1st. Catch me outside.
I just saw the Queen last week.
Really?
Caught me
so
outside.
First off, my first question is, based off of the 5 names that we just mentioned, who's going to have the most successful tour? Financially.
Well, first of all, Beyonce has the largest production of a tour ever that's traveling. That's fact.
It's
and
like 60 buses, right?
I don't know. I'm just going by what Forbes said. And then I think this is going to be the largest grossing tour ever or something. It's supposed to be like $2 billion or
Drake's
something.
was.
No.
Absolutely not.
You know who's got it?
Taylor.
It's Taylor.
Yeah, this is supposed to be $2 billion, which is $500 million more than Taylor Swift's last tour.
No, but what about Taylor Swift's current tour?
No, we talking about the Queen. The Queen gonna keep all the records.
All right, so out of those, you think Beyonce is the number one ticket you'd want? If you
Beyonce
could only go to
is
one,
the number one ticket. She's the number one performer. She's the only one of everything.
If you
But
could,
the thing I don't understand is everything I see on social media is Drake tour, Taylor tour.
Lies.
I don't see anything from the Beyonce tour.
you know what?
Lies.
You keep seeing the videos of Blue Ivy and all the
I
reels.
don't see any of
It's
them.
so
don't
much
see
press
it?
around the
No.
Renaissance tour. It's everything.
I've been seeing that video of her, like Blue Ivy, coming out every single time and doing the
Yeah.
dance. That's the only thing. I haven't seen marketing though.
I haven't seen anything.
The
I've
tour is
seen
everything.
maybe one
Sold out
thing.
everywhere.
It's true. You know, I have been seeing other artists be like,
All
oh,
the
Beyonce's
celebrities
coming.
are going to
coming
see
in. Yeah,
the Queen.
and Drake.
Because this is the era of the last. This is our last superstar. This is the last, like, in her prime. People who didn't get to see
You
Michael
think Beyonce
Prince.
is the last superstar?
Who else is a superstar right now that's new?
Oh, new.
She's the last of a dying breed.
Well, there's nobody as
Nah,
big as her
A
yet.
superstar. Don't
Drake.
tell me
Drake,
it's not the same impact.
Taylor Swift.
saying-
Drake is a superstar.
Drake is a superstar. They saying that the Weeknd is
That's
packing out.
foolish. I don't understand it.
You seen what I'm talking
It's
about, right?
drug music. I don't like listening. I don't get the craze over the Weekend.
First of all,
He's
I
drowsy
loves
as
The
fuck.
Weeknd.
love the
He
Weeknd.
No, I
Kelly's
want to
a
cut
big
my
Weeknd
wrist.
fan.
That's how I felt when I used to listen to Drake albums. I'd be like, girl, I want to die. Like, what's happening here? But he has a lot of number ones, of course. I like Drake.
They're saying that The Weeknd is packing out stadiums like nobody else. His every stadium he goes to overseas is like 100,000.
Do it in America too. It's not like the Queen.
But this is a stat that came out. They said that Taylor Swift dropped $55 million in bonuses alone to her drivers and the people that are working on the tour. That's how big her tour is right now. They're saying that she's bringing in over 100,000 per city.
Yeah, I think white people get away with mediocrity. I'm sorry, don't cancel.
So I heard, well,
but Taylor Swift, I don't get the craze around her either.
it might not be your cup of tea, but
it's not my cup of tea. It's drowsy. It's
but like men
the
lie,
numbers
women lie,
don't
numbers
lie,
don't
but-
lie, and I think I think so.
It's like mayonnaise.
I think that the biggest concert out of it, who will make the most money, will either be Taylor Swift or Drake.
no, that's not a fact. We're telling you what is on record
You said
to be
gross.
the largest tour.
Gross
ever.
don't mean net though.
Oh, you mean net? Well,
Yeah,
we
who's
don't
gonna
know.
make the most money?
We don't know.
Because the numbers that came out about Drake's was net numbers, and it was like
Well,
the
it's Drake
biggest
and
ever.
21 Savage, right? It's not just Drake.
It's Drake and 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beyonce on her own, right?
I didn't
Yeah.
see none of the Drake net numbers.
Yeah, so there were some net numbers that came out about he broke records for certain cities or certain stadiums that he was at.
First of all, Beyonce is the largest, the highest paid black entertainer of all time. That's number one. So Drake is not even in this conversation about largest grossing tour. She has the largest production of a tour right now.
Are we experiencing an earthquake?
Yeah,
We
I
in
feel it
earthquake.
right now. Yeah, it says earthquake detected.
Oh shit!
Wait, how I turn this off? Oh, that's
We
yours?
live, baby. Earthquake. I was like, am I? Is it?
It ain't
shaking
even
right
rain
now?
that much.
We got earthquake and a hurricane on the same day,
Hold up, it said
and a
earthquake.
tropical storm.
Breaking news.
Yo, we live on
California's
Man on
now
the
an
Internet
island.
podcast. The whole world is shutting down. We got a tropical storm and an earthquake at the same time.
It says earthquake detected. Drop cover. Hold on. Protect yourself. Oh shoot!
It's over
I saw
already,
the
though.
light. Like, yo,
Yeah, I was like moving, and I was like, "Is that the drinks?"
get on X real quick and see what people are tweeting. I mean, Xing.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
it's
my
done.
gosh.
But anyways, that was God trying to tell you that Beyonce ain't it. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
that's not what God was.
What a day.
Have you? So hold on. So you're going to see 50 Cent. Who else are
Yeah.
you going to see?
So this is, but you know what?
Wait.
I'm an old head. So if out of all those five, the ticket I'd want the most is 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes.
For sure. I was gonna say this.
You too?
Drake is doing an arena tour.
Yeah,
Not
And
stadium.
yeah, he's not doing a stadium
correct.
tour. So he's probably breaking arena tour numbers.
Right.
Like he's making X amount of millions for 18,000 when
And all of them probably got opening acts and co-headliners.
Drake don't have nothing
Co-headline.
but 21 Savage. So Beyonce don't have no opening act
No opening acts. 3-hour show. Sweetie
by herself.
by herself.
She comes straight out,
Straight
open,
out.
open and close.
Ooh,
Open and
so
close.
5.5 earthquake, 2 miles from Ojai, California.
We just had a 5.5.
Yeah, but it was the epicenter was in Ojai. I don't know where that is.
Ohio
That
is
reminded me one
about an
time
hour away from
When
me.
I was in an earthquake, I was getting my ass ate. The wall shook, and I was like,
Damn,
it
this
happened
was
at the
the
same
best.
time, bitch.
You're
I
like,
was climbing the wall and it was shaking. That was
this-
like 2013.
how long does this dude last?
How long did he last?
Yeah,
Eat my ass?
in your life.
Oh, this is one night only.
So it wasn't a
Jitterbug.
sign.
Huh?
It wasn't a sign.
It wasn't a sign. Sorry, babe, you watched it.
Kelby, out of all those 5 concerts, what would the ticket that you'd? We already know. You're king.
Who you want to see?
It's
So
either be
I
The
would-
Weeknd or Drake.
I would want to see 50 Cent first. 50 Cent is my all-time favorite hip-hop artist.
Really?
Yeah.
And mixed with Busta, I think is gonna be a
No,
fire
Busta's
concert.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
But
I saw Busta at the Dave Chappelle show.
I saw him at Summer Jam 10. That was my very first concert.
Yours is Beyonce. That's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
And you already went. Where'd you see that?
I've been to every
Where'd you see her
Beyonce
at?
concert. Atlanta.
Ooh.
And I'm going to Houston.
For the B-Day,
For what?
her birthday.
No. She gonna be here in LA for her birthday.
You can't make that one.
I don't want to go to that one. I want to go to Houston, hometown.
What? Do you think it's gonna be it's a different experience or?
The energy is just different. Atlanta was great too, but
So I seen one Drake show. I'd go 50 Drake Weekend, Beyonce. I don't need to go see a Taylor Swift show.
This is just
You know what's crazy? So this is coming from Andrew Schultz. So obviously he's
He's white.
he's white.
right.
He was on the Brilliant Idiots, him and Charlamagne.
Mm-hmm.
He made an argument that Beyonce ain't even on the same level as Taylor Swift.
In what regard?
He said it was he's like, I'm a Taylor Swift hater, and I went to the concert because my wife made me, and he said it was the best concert he has ever gone to. He's like, the only person Taylor Swift is in competition with is Michael Jackson as far as a stage show.
Child, cancel this podcast. I can't even listen to this bullshit. This is stupid.
He said it's disrespectful to Taylor Swift that Beyonce is even in the same sentence.
He was trolling as fuck.
I don't know.
He had to be.
I don't know.
No.
Nah, he was being serious.
He couldn't have been.
So I saw him say the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody respects and reveres Beyonce as that girl. And the second coming.
So
of
what I
Michael
will
Jackson.
tell you is he said that Beyonce is a better performer than Taylor Swift. Without a doubt, she's a generational
So what is Taylor
talent.
Swift better than Beyonce?
But
at?
he was talking about the production of the tour show. He was essentially saying that like the way it was technically put together.
Prior to this tour, yes. This is the largest tour production ever.
I don't know if he's talking about largest. I think he was talking about artistically. He thought that the whatever they put together for this Taylor Swift concert, which I haven't seen anything of.
Because she need all that because she's bland. Give my girl a mic. And a
It's
stage,
possible.
and that's
Hey,
it.
you got to play to your strengths, play to your
Girl,
weaknesses.
you're your guitar girl. Kick rocks.
But when I look at the numbers though, Taylor got numbers.
She's white.
She's white, but she's beating out
She's not better.
Mike, who
She's not better.
had
She's not better. That's like how y'all let Britney Spears get on y'all internet playing in y'all face, twirling around with these black eyes and raccoon eyes, looking crazy, and nobody saying nothing about her. It's free Britney. Let my girl have an off day. If she want to get in here some panties and twirl around, they gonna tear Beyonce up. Like, and I like Britney, but they be entertaining this foolishness. Like I
Yeah.
can't.
Tavares on his soapbox right now. Defend your queen.
Stupid.
Defend your queen.
Britney is off, y'all, and let's
Yeah.
talk about it. goddamn.
Yo, we done with the tours?
listen. I want to see Drake's tour, but I'm too poor.
I want to go to Drake tour. I don't like how he did my girl Megan Thee Stallion with that fucking innuendo he was trying to make. So I'm kind of
I
hesitating.
don't feel like he
What'd he
was
say?
really
He
saying-
was.
What'd he say?
said-
What'd he say?
He said,
The line was something about she lying about getting shot, but he tried to do a double entendre
Yes.
of butt shots.
so he
Oh, that
she
was a
be-
while ago.
She said
So?
she lies about getting shots, but she's still a stallion.
Right.
She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling.
Right. He was throwing shots. That's why y'all
Hey,
got 10
I might
years
be
to
I might be a Drake fan again.
You say you might be?
Yeah, I might
He hates Drake.
That's the
I
only
don't
part
hate
that I
Drake.
don't like. Because my girl is my girl.
We talked about Tory Lanez last week, so we won't
Oh,
go
what y'all
over
said
that.
about it? Y'all agree with the sentence?
I think it was a bit much
Why?
because
the judge said, due to the taunting and how you acted after the case, after the initial incident, also contributed to the fact that,
I still think it's too much.
no, it's not too much. You shot
Hey,
somebody.
you asked me for my opinion, and then I gave it
Why is that in your opinion?
because
Because she was only grazed or hit in the ankle?
I just think that there's murderers that get less time.
Agreed.
So I just think that it's a lot of time to
What
put
should be
somebody
the
in jail.
punishment?
I think 6 years would have been good.
6 is fine. He probably ended up doing 6.
Yeah, I mean, he only has to do.
But if he
7.5.
did, if he was sentenced to 6, he would have been out in like 4.
But no, we want 6. Because he's still arrogant. He still ain't get the fucking point. No. Lock him up and throw away the key.
He did go a little extra because I know when he said he put out that tweet that watch what God does for me and all of this.
The way he
stuff,
behaved
like,
after that, he was too arrogant. No, stop.
I'm not mad at that take. I'm
Yeah.
not mad at that take.
10 years.
Whatever.
I
Ship him out.
thought 10 years was a lot when I first saw it. But then when you know that he only has to do 85%, he's already getting some time for what he's already done. He's going to be out in 7 years. I was like, I mean, I understand where somebody's going to say,
But
like,
you were offered a plea at the beginning, and you were
Yeah.
arrogant enough to think that you could beat the case, knowing that you did it.
You did
That's
it.
delusion.
Yeah. I personally think he did it.
Yes, he did it.
Yeah, I think.
I
he did
believe
do it.
I believe he shot the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. But that's only what he's getting because he did it in California.
But and also he
also has a history of violence.
He didn't take the plea. Like
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like these charges are only because it happened in California.
Okay, so we in California. Who give a fuck?
But what I'm saying is like, yeah, but I personally look. I think what my take on Tory Lanez is he's gotten away with a lot of shit.
Right.
So this is karma getting him back. So who am I? This is reality. This is what he gets for moving the way that he's moved.
Absolutely.
But if we're just going off of this incident, 10 years is a lot.
What else did he do? I don't know. What else did he
I
do?
think
assaulted
that
August Alsina at the concert.
I mean, and not just
I think he pistol whip or beat up his baby mama, if I'm not mistaken.
not
He was already on probation for something else.
and not just the legal stuff. I just think
He's
disrespecting
an
women,
asshole.
like even the thing sleeping with these best friends and stuff like that. I just think he's been toying toying the morality line, and eventually God's gonna get you.
Yeah, and I dare you. I invite you to somebody's house, and you don't want to leave, and you in this bitch face, and you came with me.
I mean, that he should have stayed with the white girl.
No, should never stay with a white
Kelby.
What else we talking about?
All right, so we talking about the tour. So let's talk about Britney Spears.
Oh,
Britney Spears is in the news because she and her husband, or I guess now future ex-husband,
yeah.
they got a divorce. Britney out here still twirling on a pole, happy as can be. But the news came out about her prenup. And hey, if you got money, find you Britney's lawyer, cause that prenup, baller. So he gets no spousal. He gets no spousal privilege. So she doesn't have to get no alimony. He don't get any of her estate.
Yeah.
What's his is his.
They haven't even been
What's
married
hers
that
is
long.
hers. Regardless, it's like literally they just separate and nothing happens financially.
Absolutely, that's how it should be.
I think that's the right thing.
Yeah.
Because he came in broke as KeKe's boyfriend.
He ain't
Hold
broke.
on, he's
She
not
ain't-
the
he
agent?
ain't- No. He's the Middle Eastern. He's not broke. He got money.
What's money?
I thought he was.
He don't got Britney money, but he's not like.
I feel like he probably came. Nobody in their right mind is seeking out Britney Spears to marry.
Why?
He probably came in with an agenda. She's ill.
She's definitely ill.
But if you think about it, if he grew up idolizing this girl, you could get her.
Yeah, I can get you in your money.
But well, I mean, but he signed prenup, so obviously it wasn't that.
He did. He probably planned on hanging in there a little longer.
But even then, he
I
wouldn't
hear
have
she
gotten
cheated,
anything
though.
if it didn't work.
I hear she cheated.
She cheated?
Oh, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
that's what the claim is, that she cheated allegedly.
Ooh. Well, so he not only was he chasing her, somebody else chasing her too.
I mean, Britney.
It's
Shut up.
Britney, bitch.
Yeah. Eat this pussy, bitch.
So aggressive.
Didn't she say it in the song like that?
She did.
I don't know if it was the same way.
How y'all feel about Britney? Should she be free from her conservatorship, or should
For
she be?
sure.
It's very
I agree.
obvious. It's very obvious that
She's
she
not
needs
well.
somebody to oversee her.
I feel like she should still be in charge of her own shit. Just
Yeah.
let her. If she want to spend her money, spend it.
Wait, you think that somebody should be in charge of
No.
her decision making?
Not so much.
What is she doing that's
should.
wrong?
I don't know so much sure, but I think when you're a brand, like you've given yourself up to be a brand, and now everything around a company essentially revolves around you. It's not just your money. Now it's like it's her company.
Yeah,
Like it's a company.
But
So
I'm only worried about me. I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, they never
And
did.
my company is my business.
I disagree with that. I think
Yeah.
that she should have every right to have the freedom to do whatever
Yeah.
she wants. If she wants to, if you created a company, like the company is because of her, she should have the right to
Agreed.
fuck up that company if she wants to. Like it doesn't have like all of those people. They wouldn't have jobs. They wouldn't do anything if it wasn't for.
And what
Britney.
are they doing for her now anyway? She not on tour or nothing. So who getting paid for what?
they're holding the camera up as she dances.
I'm sure she's setting her iPhone up.
I don't think she's done anything that's like
She ain't done nothing.
nothing.
Britney
That's
don't bother
like,
nobody.
I
Poor
think
thing.
the only thing is like I could understand her baby daddy like being like, yo, you can't be seeing
He the
these
problem.
kids.
He the reason for her problems.
Kevin
Well,
He
Federline?
done turned that woman every which way.
well, I just think like from what I've
think
seen,
that's
like
a
the
throw over the
kids
edge.
don't want to see her, so it's like they've had videos where like she's acted some like so.
No.
I could understand that part, but that has nothing to do with
Them
conservatorship.
kids about to be 18 soon.
Yeah.
Kevin, I think he played a number on them kids and turning him against Britney, and he took advantage of her too and took her money.
I think ultimately, yes, it's fine, but it's just like the people who run Wendy Williams' money. You know,
Hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of somebody else being over your
finances.
Your
choices.
financial your financial decisions. But I do understand when we're no longer talking about a single person, and we're talking about an entity, and to protect it. And if the person is obviously not well, and you
don't tell me I'm not well enough to run my shit. It's my shit. Get another fucking job.
And I don't think Britney is like saying she's running the company. She just wants to be able to have access to her money. I don't think that's a
but it wasn't
thing.
even in a conservatorship. I think they were like making her take birth control. It was like a whole bunch of stuff, overstepping personal. It wasn't just about the money. You got a curfew. You got all this. I got to give you an allowance. Like,
that's
bitch,
it. Like
I worked my whole life for this.
I think. And
you're here because of me.
And even if she messes it up, she messes it up.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like
you only care about me keeping my money because you want to keep your money. It's not about me.
I think people who are financially invested in you should there's a there's like a conflict of interest for you to now to be the one to decide whether or not she should.
Mariah, I read Mariah Carey's book. Her mom tried to put her in a mental institution and have her checked in and have a conservatorship, but it didn't work. But it's like people around you gotta watch. Like they be doing some bullshit.
I could understand if you're maybe the kid's underage. Even then, sometimes it's tough because you don't know how good the parent is or if they're best interest of the child or whatnot. But she's what? Almost 40? Is she past 40 now?
Who, Britney?
Yeah.
Britney about 41.
Yeah, so
but she been in conservatorship for like 15 years.
That's what I'm saying. But even at the age she got it, that's too old to be told you can't do this, you can't do that.
What about the football player who got put in a conservatorship from those white people?
I'm not.
So
from
Michael Orr. So he was have you seen the movie The Blind Side?
I know what it is. I've never seen it.
Yeah. So basically, he just came out. So he was the number one draft. He was a first round draft pick by the Baltimore Ravens. He was adopted by the Tui family when he was in high school, I think. Maybe, yeah.
When he was 18.
No. It was before.
He was 18.
He was adopted at 18?
He was. So the story is he was never adopted.
Oh.
He was never legally adopted. He was 18, and they couldn't adopt him because he was over the age of being able to be adopted. So what they did is they put him in a conservatorship, and so that they could have some kind of legal power over him, even though he was an adult.
Okay.
And basically, he's come out now.
But was he mentally ill?
No, he was just messed up in life.
He just came from a bad family.
Yeah, and they were able to just put him in a conservatorship?
Yeah, because I think that he probably sheltered him or something of the sort.
And I think he might have probably signed off on it.
Yeah, he for sure had to sign off on it.
So
but in his mind, he thought that they were
being
adopted.
Exactly.
But they put him in a conservatorship.
He thought he was getting adopted. So he signed the paperwork, but it was really a conservatorship.
Poor thing.
So anyways, he's come out now saying that, so that Blind Side movie was like a super hit, right? And he didn't see no money from it. And so now he's coming out saying that he's suing the Tui family for X amount of dollars. But his book's coming out now.
They said that Sandra Bullock got to give the Oscar back.
She won an Oscar for that?
Yes, she did.
Oh. So was her character actually a hero or no? She was part of getting him to sign the shit?
So in the movie, he got adopted.
Oh, so they lied.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also said in the movie that he was kind of slow, and he was like, "Don't. If y'all gonna say I'm slow in the movie, don't. And I'm not slow in real life. Y'all better give me some money for it."
Well, you slow. You think you get adopted? Oh, 18. Now.
Wait, so you said he has a book coming out?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is just PR.
Yeah.
This is just PR.
Poor thing.
And like the younger brother. So in the movie, they have a younger son, and they were like really close. He just did an interview or podcast where he was saying they were expecting this. It's been going on for like a couple of years. He's like, it just came out right now because he's promoting the book. But
this is a white son?
Yeah, the whole family's white.
Oh, that's okay.
So it's a white couple, daughter, son, and then they brought him in. Yeah, I guess there's two sides. I mean, if it is that way and he didn't get any money, obviously, that's a problem. But also, it's like, why are you bringing all this up now?
They said he found out in May of 2023.
Found out what? That there was a movie about him?
No, he said he found out that he wasn't adopted. He was under a conservatorship.
But when the movie came out, he was not a young guy. He's already drafted in the NFL, all that kind of stuff.
How long did he play in the NFL?
He played a good amount of time. He was like a really good player.
So he's still rich.
Yeah, but
who runs his money? The family?
No, I don't think they run his money right now. I think like
he's not in conservatorship no more.
I think I saw something where the family said if he wanted to not be in it, they would have just signed him off. And then they also said that when they had met him, he wasn't a good football player at the time. That he went to Ole Miss and they encouraged him to play football, and he just turned out to be really good. They said that there was nothing with the NFL, that nothing.
I'm not buying that.
No. Well, I think that part's
Why would
true.
you make me be in a conservatorship if I ain't got shit to offer you? Because whoever runs a conservatorship gets a salary from the conservatorship. So where the money coming from? Because you think I'm a bad football player?
Maybe he was getting state money.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, no, I think they brought him in because, yeah, he was definitely playing football and they saw potential there.
Yeah.
But he didn't know how to play football before he met them. Well, he had just gotten into football right when they met.
That's pretty much what they're saying. They
Yeah.
said that he wasn't some elite
He
talent.
wasn't.
Yeah,
he wasn't even playing before.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They said that at the time when they
But he was an
put
elite
him
talent.
under this, like he was an elite talent eventually.
Right.
But when they had known him, it was just like, oh, he's gonna go to college.
Yeah.
And then, oh, hey, you should pursue the football thing.
Exactly.
But it wasn't really like, oh, we see this kid, let's adopt him like we're Angelina Jolie and a black kid, and get him. Nah, I don't think that's what it was.
I don't know.
All right, we're going to take one more break and we'll come right back with our final thoughts. All right, welcome back to the show. We're going to end off with a little rated MA section. Okay, we're going to have it curated by our guy Tavares here. So let's start it off. What you got for us?
Well, I don't have many questions, but for those of you who don't know, I'm from the Rated MA podcast, which is a podcast about sex and relationships, of course, from the gay perspective, but we cover everything. So I wanted to kind of, ask a couple of questions to you guys. So
he popping on this one. He popping.
So I ran across this relationship guru on YouTube who said that 60% of people don't end up with the person that they're supposed to be with because they prefer to date people who are the safe option and not necessarily the people that they're like hot and heavy for. So do you have any thoughts on that, or what is your dating style and pattern like as far as like what you go for? Do you go after the person that you feel like, oh my God, I love them, or is it you kind of try to pick a safe choice emotionally?
Well, I'm single right now, so.
But you're dating, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely dating for what I want, not for settling for what I could get, if that makes sense.
What is it that you want?
I want someone that has a similar vision for how they want their life to be. I want someone who would be a great mother to children. I want someone who has similar views on the world. And even if, we have some disagreements on certain things, we're willing to communicate and come to like common ground about things, like agree to disagree without it affecting how you feel about each other and stuff like that. So I'm looking for like a healthy, stable relationship that leads to marriage and, all of the smiles and Hallmark cards that comes with that.
But physically, what do you want?
Slim, thick.
Slim thing. Okay. Any race specific, or are you open across the board?
Yeah, I'm open. I mean, so what has happened over the past 15 years seems to be only one ethnicity is attracted to me.
Which is
but
what?
Black.
You date black women?
Pretty much solely for the last 15 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I didn't know that. What about you, Kilby? Kelby. I have a friend named Kilby.
That's okay. I never say my correct name on the podcast.
Oh, what's your name on here?
Oh, I'm saying
It
different
just
names.
depends.
Oh, okay, Michael.
Yeah. No,
What do
it's
you
fine.
like?
Yeah, so it's Kerbin, Kirby, Calvin, Kelvin,
Okay.
Kelvin. Yeah, whatever. So, so Sunil loves black women.
Black women love me.
But do you date based on who you passionate about, or based on what fits for your future more?
You know what's crazy? I feel like I haven't had true passion for a woman in a very long time.
Why is that? That's interesting.
Like I've liked somebody a lot, but then also there's the mechanics of me saying, oh, this person fits every category that I'm looking for. I must like her.
Okay.
versus me waking up and like
Be like, I got a text.
yeah. Sometimes so you
just be in your head more.
Yeah, I remember. I think maybe because I'm hurt.
Why you hurt?
The last person I remember being truthfully passionate about, it was such a sharp ending that had nothing to do with me that I was just like, I don't need to do this again.
Ooh,
Scared to be vulnerable again.
that's horrible. So you date the safe choice is what the answer is. You like, I don't want to go after the person that I love so much, but I'm gonna go after who gives me more attention, maybe, or
they do need to give me attention.
Well, of course.
Like they need to do everything. They need to make the first move, everything. Like I'm one of those.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I also am traumatized.
Yeah, but at what point do you like
Get over it.
get out of that and find what you want? You know,
my bad.
You're not in therapy. You don't believe in it?
I believe in it, but I'm not in it currently.
Why not?
Press him, Tobias. Press him.
I think everybody should be in therapy.
No, you can. I think the way I think about things is it takes me a while to think about it and let it formulate in my mind, and then I make quick decisions after a long processing. So, like for example, I was telling y'all that I paid off my student loans.
Sure did.
It's
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's something that took me 3 years of thinking about, and then when I finally said I'm gonna do it, I did it within 1 minute. So I thought about it, and I do this with everything. Sometimes I think about I want to buy a pair of shoes. I think about it for 3-4 months.
But you can't think about stuff that requires the heart to lead. You know,
That's an Aquarius thing, right? Leads.
It should.
It should, but I don't think it does.
Oh, that's horrible. I hate that for you.
And I don't know what the safe choice is because I feel like the safe choice is no choice.
Oh,
yeah.
I disagree with. You
For
shouldn't
me.
think about.
Wait, what's your sign?
Scorpio.
Are you into signs?
No. But I get told all the time I'm a traditional. I'm like, what's it called?
Scorpios are the pits.
Like specific. Like I'm very much a Scorpio. But
What is the pits?
Hell.
It depends. Like no. It's never. People aren't always ever excited that I'm a Scorpio. Let's just put it that way.
People love Scorpios. Scorpio's supposed to be like super sexual. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer are all water signs, right?
Yeah.
So we all are like heart first, emotion first. I'm Cancer, by the way. Scorpios are very passive aggressive. They're more Scorpios and Aquarius are more prone to depression, according to research done by Zodiacs. And but they're very sexual people. But they're good people. But it's like I've had horrible experiences with Scorpios.
Like
they
the
don't let
negative,
shit go.
The negatives I hear manipulative, like,
grudges. Like somebody be doing you something. You like, dang, I ain't even know I did you nothing. Like, at least explain to me what the fuck I did. You just acting out.
Yeah, that's not me. But I do think that you should be logical even if you're emotionally into it.
Right, but you should also go after somebody that really like sets your soul on fire, not just like looks good on paper. Or
I guess it depends on what your understanding of set your soul on fire is, because I think that sometimes people think just because it feels good in the moment, it's exciting and all this kind of stuff, that it's good, but that's just all superficial shit. Like that stuff fades away.
Well, just like people date based on like, oh, this person has a stable job, so that'd be good for my future, which of course we want that too. But or like they would be a good mother to my children. But you also, like we talked about earlier, you want to feel like, damn, my dick jump when I see her. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what's crazy? So I saw this stat. It's like world statistics. It's on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and it'll just put up random stats, and it put up divorce rates. And the lowest divorce rate is from India, 1%. And then in the U.S., I think it's like over 50%.
Because people are not marrying for the right reasons.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. So in India, not my generation, but the previous generation, like my parents' generation, like my parents only knew each other for like 4 hours before they decided, yeah, let's get married.
I'm into that.
And so, but they've been married since 81, so 42 years.
I be knowing right away.
And they and they have an extremely happy relation. Like if my parents met each other just on the street, I think they would have fallen in love together. And I don't know.
Was it an arranged marriage?
Kind of. They were introduced by each other's siblings. So my dad's sister and my mom's sister knew that they had siblings that were like looking to get married, and so they introduced each other. But but I think that one of the reasons why you said they don't get married for the right reasons, I would argue that the reason why their marriages is because they focus on the right things, whereas our generation and here we focus on stuff that isn't key to sustaining a relationship, because we're not focused on the things that actually matter when the attraction and all that kind of stuff fades.
But you can have it all, I truly believe. I don't think you have to choose stability over attraction.
But what's stability? I'm talking about common values, like the stuff that really matter, because most relationships end. You've said this. What are the 3 reasons why most relationships end?
Finances,
sex,
religion, and disagreement on
politics. Is it?
No, I think it's disagreement on in-laws.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about your parents.
But so
you say that now.
I don't give a damn.
Until they are coming into your house.
Never happen.
Or if you're,
but that, you see, your answer is that's where the argument comes.
I've never gotten along with my ex's mothers, by the way, and I still don't give a damn.
But here's the thing: like, if those aren't conversations that you're having before you guys tie the knot or get really deep in, those are gonna be things that extend to why a relationship ends. Because, like you said, if it's never gonna happen, but your husband,
No, I'm saying it's never happened.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if that's like, so what if your husband is like, yeah, if like say their father passes away and they're like, well, I'm not gonna have my mom live on her own, she's living with us, and you're like,
fuck your mama.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, but that would be a reason that possibly could end a relationship if you haven't talked about that before. In my parents' culture, like in their generation, they're talking about all this stuff before they even get married, which is why I think those relationships last longer than ones that are based off
but
of
relationships also end because of like infidelity and cheating, right? Because men, I feel like straight men specifically tend to marry the safe choice and not necessarily, the person that they would want to have sex with for the rest of their life. Even though everything else matters too. I feel like I'm coming off sleazy on this episode talking about sex, but bitch, it matters.
I think that, in general, I think people cheat just because they're not disciplined or they have lack of morals.
Not fulfilled.
I don't know if it's fulfilled. I think at the end of the day, like, if you're disciplined, like, discipline has nothing to do with fulfillment. Discipline has to do with, like, hey, I'm choosing to, because even the feelings of cheating is fleeting.
But I feel like when you say they're not disciplined, you're removing the fact that they're not fulfilled.
Right.
And
but
that's why I said
fulfillment changes, bro. Like, one minute you were fulfilled. Clearly, when you got married, you were fulfilled with this person. Maybe. And then all of a sudden, now the fulfillment have changed.
That's what we're talking about. Dating and marrying the person that really sets your soul on fire versus because they check off a list on your...
So my pop's best advice he gave me about dating, he's like, bro, 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
He's like, if you find somebody that has 80% of the stuff that you want, just deal with the 20% because that strive for that 100% will leave you single for the rest of your life. And I think that oftentimes in social media era, in like our generation, I'm caught up in it too. We see all these Instagram girls, we see all these kind of things, we see what's available out there, and we're constantly striving for that 100% that we miss out on 80% that is more in reality versus striving for that 100%, which will never come.
Agreed.
And so, like, where I'm saying is, like, I think that 80-20 rule is why relationships work, that strive off of that versus being like, I'm only focused on this 20% that's not there, and then I'm going to act upon that in whatever way they act, whether it's cheating, whether it's all that other kind of stuff.
Do you guys feel like if you lined up all of your exes or everybody that you dated in the past, that you have a type, either physically or personality-wise?
Absolutely.
What is the common denominator?
Personality.
Which is what? What type?
I like confident women. I like successful women. I look at all my relationships. I look at anything that hasn't succeeded, and I always put the blame on myself because that's the only thing I could control. I can't control what anybody else does. So, but yeah, I definitely have a type as far as like personality, goofy, ultra competitive, stuff like that.
What about you?
I would say every girl that I've dated is very different from the next.
So what would be the common thread that you like in all of them? Is there anything specific that you can pinpoint?
I think ultimately they've all shown me that they could be sweet or kind.
Is that hard to find in women? Kind and sweet?
I don't think so.
For me, it's been something that it's sacrificing something else. So you're kind and sweet, but you're somehow cold-hearted, or you're not emotionally attached to yourself, or you make really weird decisions, or you don't have any goals, or you don't have any desires in life. Like, so it's like one or the other. But that's just my experience, not what I think is out there.
Sidebar: as an Aquarius, do people ever tell you that you like cold or detached, or no?
Sure.
And what's your response to that?
Sometimes I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get it because before I do anything, I often have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see sometimes when I do something and I've processed it so much in my mind that I didn't give it 100%.
Right.
I gave it 60% because I thought, well, if I don't give it 100%, then this leaves me open to potentially this, that, and the third happening. And I've over-processed what's going on in my mind. And somebody goes, I only felt so much of this.
Right.
But then there's other pieces when I feel like I'm giving 100% and I don't know what else I could do, and it's not enough. And then that's when they're like, but you were not giving me 100%. And I'm like, I gave you 200%. That's all I had to give you.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. I think one thing I've learned about Kelby, he's a lot more deliberate than I think the average guy. And so sometimes I think that comes across as, because I think you're not as go off of emotion as much as logic.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't.
You're more of an acts of service type of person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do anything based off of how I feel. Like I'm going to think about things like, I'll give you an example. I was talking to one girl and I asked her, do you want to go on a date on Thursday? And I was very clear about that. And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. Let's just FaceTime one time before we go on a date.
Right.
So Wednesday comes around, and she texts me like an hour before we were set to FaceTime. And she was like, yo, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm feeling moody. So in my mind, I'm not thinking like, oh, that's totally fine. I'm thinking, what did I do?
Okay.
What happened here? What I did I not dot? What T did I not cross? So now I'm responding in a very calculated way. I'm like, well, how was your day? What happened? Da, da, da. But I noticed that she's giving me 1-2 word responses. So obviously you want me to get up on out of your face. So I do. Now, the next day, I don't hear anything back. So I text her back. Say, yo, hope you're having a better day today. Hope everything's all good. She sent me the thumbs up and never responded to me ever again. So
you were right in your analysis.
I did something?
No.
Well, you didn't do nothing.
You didn't do it, but it was like it was like done. Like there was nothing you could have done to change it.
Exactly. But in my mind, I'm thinking like I did what I was supposed to do. I sent the follow up. I checked up on you.
She had somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else or something else.
Something that she didn't think was available came back to her.
So if you guys were to like poll all of your exes, what would they say if they all got together? Like, this was my problem with.
Depends on. So if it's the first
theme,
most of them would say he wasn't ready to commit, and then one of them would say he was too insecure.
Oh, insecure about what?
Just insecure as a man.
Oh, damn. Is that real?
Yeah, I was definitely too insecure when I was with her.
Damn. Was she like just ultra beautiful or something?
She was that, but it was more just like, so she had a different relationship with men because she grew up not having a lot of girlfriends. She grew up raised around guys. And so she was very comfortable around men. And so the way she handled men were different because she's always around them. So she understood that even though guys were hollering and all that kind of stuff, like it was just about sex, all that kind of stuff. So in her mind, she's just brushing it off. But in me, the insecurity in me is like, why aren't you shutting these guys down? Even though in her head maybe it was shut down, but like she never gave them the impression that it was shut down. And so little things like that. And yeah, she was I just needed to be more confident of an individual and be able to support her in a way that I wasn't capable of in the moment.
What about you?
I think almost every single woman would just say they don't know how to read me.
Yeah.
I've gotten that so many times, and I don't know what to do about that.
Really?
I don't know what to do about that. Because at times when I feel the absolute most vulnerable, they're like, come on, give me some more.
Dang.
And I'm like, I've depleted
That's been my
battery.
experience with Aquarius.
Yeah.
That's
That's my
intrigued.
experience. That I've given you everything I have, and they're like, it's not enough.
Yeah, I'm like, the wall is still up. You got more.
Yeah.
Try a little harder.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what else
That's
to
why
do.
you need therapy.
I would consider going.
Okay, so do it.
I think I gotta.
You gotta think about it some more.
I gotta think about it. I gotta think about
He's like, in 3 years, I'm going to be in that.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm gonna make a random decision, but it's not random. I've thought about it for years.
What about you?
What was the question again?
If all of your exes were to pull you, what would they say is a common reason why things didn't work out?
I'm gonna say. Okay, let me say my real flaws, and then I'm gonna give you my other answer. I think
He's curating this shit, right? This is about them. This had nothing to do with you.
shit to do with me.
This is about what they would say, not what you want them to say.
I think
Here we go. I think. You know,
I have a
but you just
problem
don't
with
want to
seeing
say.
other people's point of view.
Okay.
If I'm like made up my mind on something, I'm like, that don't make sense to me. So I guess compromise would be a thing.
Okay.
And then, but I don't know if they would say that. They really don't like my smart mouth, but then they love it. So I can't really say.
I don't think that's a reason for people to break up with you, though.
No, they never broke up with me.
Or like the relationship, the relationship.
I told you earlier in the episode, I asked like, what would you like to, me to do different? Is there anything? And they don't give me nothing. So I really can't answer that question.
Do you feel?
But I find that, in my opinion, my biggest back and forth with a guy is that I believe in them more than they believe in themselves, and it's more of them battling.
So you date down.
Maybe.
Have you ever dated somebody who's more confident and secure than you are?
I don't feel like I date down. I feel like I've dated down. I'll say that. But I feel like I date guys who are confident.
Have you ever dated somebody that made you feel insecure or intimidated? Let's say that, because I don't think you get insecure.
Not intimidated, but like the guy that I talked to earlier with the weak dick. I appreciated his passion and that he was living his dream.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just sexy. So, and he was super smart. Like, he made me want to like do better. Mm-hmm. But
it didn't make you feel smaller though.
No, never smaller. Never.
Do you think you could date somebody who has their shit so together on all multiple levels?
I don't know if I want to date anybody that has it all the way together. I want to build with somebody. Like, I don't want to deal with somebody where I'm just fitting as a piece in their thing, and it's like,
what if you are the missing piece into what elevates into the?
But I want to build. I don't want anybody that has it all figured out.
What if they have 75% of it figured out?
That's good. I want that.
And the 25% is just the relationship.
Yeah, I can make your life better. Was that the question?
Nah, you didn't answer any of the
I
questions.
didn't answer nothing. Hold on, I didn't answer.
That's how they be treating me.
I sit here and I look at it and I'm just like,
No,
I think you're so good. Like I think the truth is that when you want something your way, there's no ifs, ands, or but about it. So then you over here throwing your weight around, and then you ask them, what would you want me to change? And then they're like, what's the point? And like in your mind, you're like, but I asked, but you forgot about the last 6 months when you were telling them, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. And they're like, what about you doing this? And you're like, nah, I'm not with that shit. And then when you finally ask, they're like, what's the point? And in your mind, you're like, oh, you know what? I always ask. But at that point, they know there's no point in ever bringing it up because you're not going to do
You
it.
are reading him like a book.
I'm not going to oppose that. I'm not accepting it either. I don't know how to feel about
Wow,
that.
that was really good.
That was good. That was good.
Because it's totally your personality.
I don't agree.
You on that bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
I ain't on
You deal with men that aren't confident enough to put you in your place.
No, I need that.
That's what you need. But you aren't in that. You don't seek that out. You go for guys that you could move around.
I don't be moving these niggas. And
I'm
they don't
saying
move me
you
either.
do.
Then it's a clash.
I'm saying that's why I asked you. Would you feel confident? The fact that you're saying I don't want to be with somebody that's all the way put together. Those people are the ones that are going to challenge you to be better.
No, I want to be challenged.
Okay, but you don't.
I do.
You say that. It sounds appealing, but you want your way.
I think he wants to be challenged the way that he wants to be challenged.
Yeah.
Go turn around, go wear the outfit I told you to.
Yeah.
No, that's
like,
frivolous.
Okay.
You want a fake fight,
right?
But you want your way.
Right. But then when it's like, hey, you're doing X, Y, and Z, your personality is clashing with mine. Oh, okay then. Then like fix yourself so that you can adjust to me.
Well,
and you will never allow yourself to get hurt. You will never allow yourself to get hurt.
I get hurt all the time.
But you won't let them know.
No,
I think he does get hurt.
Why would I let you know
I feel
that?
like you love real hard.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you place your vulnerability where you need to. I think you're too busy trying to get your way that you won't you won't allow yourself to be vulnerable with these men, and then they'll actually give you what you want. Don't come on this show if you ain't ready to get the heat. Don't come on this show if you
that's
ain't.
interesting. I've never heard it like that. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's always true.
So here's the thing. You have a very dominant personality.
Yes. I'm also attracted to dominant personality.
Okay, but
clash.
I think that you have a very elite dominant personality in the way that you can manipulate even people that feel like they can manipulate. And so what I mean by that is like
get me the fuck out of here.
So what I'm saying is that you're so good at your words, and I think one of your talents is being able to put into words what you're actually feeling. And that can make somebody feel very intimidated because they're still trying to, while you're already articulating what you feeling, I'm good at it too. That's why you feel real comfortable right now. I'm really good at it too.
I feel very comfortable.
But great, I love it. But so because you're so good at articulating what you're feeling in the moment, most people have to think about it. But we're in it right now. So now they're in. So you're asking these questions where they need time to process. You could process immediately. So then you're like, well, they never tell me anything. But that shit's done before they figured it out to be able to tell you.
That's fair. I like that. Oh, Ian.
So you should have more patience with your people. You should be like, this is what I need you to do. And then give them some time to process it and then let them come back.
How much time you need to process?
You need to not need immediate answers. You need to stop being social media and
Because I feel like you lying if you can't answer right away.
No, but some people don't process this. I think it's because you don't understand how elite your talent is to process immediately. Not everybody can do that. That's something that I had to learn because I'm very good at processing how I feel and articulating it in a way that people understand. It's intimidating to people that can't process that quick.
I received that.
So maybe have a little more patience.
Okay. I'll take that.
What do you think, Kelby? Outside looking in.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this. Write that down.
Editor, chop this up and send it straight to
I think
tomorrow.
I'm very patient, but also impatient. So I'm like, I'm gonna figure that out.
I think you just need to understand your skill set. I think sometimes we don't do a good enough job as people understanding what we're great at, and sometimes we just think like that's everybody. But it's not. We have elite talents that God gave us that is different from other people. And if we don't acknowledge those things and just brush it off like, oh, we're just normal. Nah, you're elite. There's certain things about Kelby that's extremely elite. There's certain things about me that are extremely elite. There's other things that I'm trash at that I need to get better at, but you have to acknowledge what you're elite at and understand how that can affect other people.
What guys want to get better at? I want to be more vulnerable.
Go ahead, Sunil. Let me.
The biggest thing for me, I'm a very spiritual person. I continue to say I trust God, but I want to actually in action trust. So what that means is passing up on what's easy and what's convenient for something that I still not fully believe can be mine, if that makes sense. So it's more about discipline, more about giving up control to God. That's what I really work on a daily basis.
What do you want to be better at?
I want to be better at not reacting immediately. So in the sense, like, really allow people to get their bars off because I'm sharp with my tongue. And so that could make, same as you. The reason why it's so easy for me to talk about it with you is because I'm very similar. So like, because I need to allow people to get their full thoughts out and listen, and sometimes not always have to give an opinion. Sometimes just hear them.
What you got to work on, Kelby?
I think maybe I have to work on I think I have to work on the not always having to be scientific in a relationship. Because what I do mostly is like I pay really close attention, and to me it's like music. Like things fit in this place. This has to be like that, and if something is out of place, then I'm out of place. I'm out of whack. And I have to sometimes just be like, okay, not everyone is like me. So I can notice when things are out of whack, and to somebody else it's totally normal. But when something is out of whack for me, I'm so out of it that now it becomes a problem.
Do you express yourself in relationship? Like, this is what I need. This made me feel uncomfortable, or do you just hold it in? Or
no, I definitely don't hold it in. I think about it and then I express it. Like I remember one time, I don't exactly remember what somebody said to me, but I thought about it for a week. And I remember it was early on in the relationship. She came over and I was like, yo, let me talk to you about this. And it took me a week to think about exactly what I wanted to say for me to say, like, don't express that to me again, please. You know? And so I definitely express myself, but I always think that everyone is me.
right.
So if I can identify the problem, why can't you? But that's not the truth. Everybody is not seeing things from my perspective.
But that's a hard concept to come up to, like, accept, right? That people don't think about stuff the way that you think about it.
But I think it's oftentimes we as people just feel like we're like everybody else when we don't acknowledge stuff that's elite. Because I think one thing about Kelby that's really rubbed off on me, in a way that, can I say pause for me? I don't even know. But because I just did. But anyways, I think you're very logical, and like you.
I wish I had some of that.
Really, really good at piecing together a puzzle and understanding the right way to do things. So that's something that I have learned from Kelby. So that's something that he's elite at, but I think that he doesn't understand that that's unique to him. So that's why it's hard when you're like, why don't you get this?
Yeah. I've been in definitely in a lot of relationships or situationships where I see something and I sit back just to wait to see, like, y'all not gonna catch that. You know what I mean? And when they don't, now I'm fighting myself because I'm angry.
Right.
Like, so you really gonna?
But for an emotional person dealing with a logical person, it's hard to compute too. Because I'm like, well, why don't you feel the way I fucking feel?
Because I don't really feel things.
Exactly. That's the conflict.
And so
it's like, I'll be like, why are you thinking about it? What the fuck do you feel?
And so that's what I'm saying. So you don't understand a logical person. He doesn't understand an emotional person. So both people have to, like, understand there's this other way that is right for them.
But I dated somebody like that, and I enjoyed that because it made me
probably
change
because
my
you guys were
perspective.
able to he was able to communicate it with you, and you were able to receive it, or vice versa, right? It could be that you guys were able to communicate better than maybe some of the other people that I met that it just turned into arguments.
Right.
Because sometimes people just need to be right, and that's never healthy.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Are we talking to find a solution, or are we talking just a win? Like, I think that's important in relationships as well.
As you guys get older, do you find that you are more, like, into things that you weren't into before? Like, are you more experimental now, even, like, sexually? Maybe some stuff you wouldn't have did before?
Not necessarily, but I do think that I value, like, random sex isn't as appealing as like finding someone to continue, like, because I think that sex is better when you're connected on an emotional level, but also when you're learning what they like, what they don't like. They're learning what you like, what you don't like, and that you could, like, be comfortable in that moment to be like, can you do it like this? Can you do it like that? Or, you know, figure each other out.
Or even, like, the last time you dated somebody seriously, or you, like, really liked them, When's the last time you had somebody like make you try something different or new, or like turn you out?
I'm gonna say never.
Never.
I mean, I'm pretty like open.
You always the one introducing stuff.
Yeah, I can, but I mean, also I don't do a lot of. I don't
Not
know.
nothing weird, but like I don't know.
Like I'm pretty like
You
open.
never ate butt?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, Scorpio.
Like I'm all, outdoors, movie theater, like whatever. We do whatever. But it's like usually I don't have inhibitions like that. I don't like stuff in my butt.
No, but I'm saying like if the girl was like, stand over there, open your mouth, and let me squirt it in.
Oh,
Let me
shit.
squirt. Yeah, like I don't know, like
I ain't trying to drink no
something like-
urine. I ain't R. Kelly.
it ain't urine.
What do you think squirt is?
Well, I don't deal with it. I don't think it's urine though.
That shit come out the same hole. It ain't like.
I don't know. Like I'm getting more into like the little choking and stuff.
Choking
Like,
and
so
stuff.
I'm like, okay. Before I was opposed to it because it triggered me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had a nigga grab me from the back seat, from the front seat to the back seat. We had to
Squabble?
Yeah.
Wow.
So now it's like, don't grab my neck, please.
Interesting.
Have you tried anything recently
I
with
haven't-
somebody you were into?
I haven't really done anything recently, but
Wherever?
Like when the last time a
Have
woman
you-
pulled
have
you out
you
of your
ma-
comfort zone?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great question.
I have a memory from when I was like 22.
That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You gotta try some new stuff.
It's somebody I didn't expect to do anything, and oh boy, she I don't know what I really don't know what she did. I feel like I left my body, but the crazy thing is about me, I don't need sex. Like I don't, I could probably go the rest of my life without it.
I saw a meme on it was from Facebook, but it was on Instagram last week where she said, the guy said, oh, when she keeps sucking the dick after you come, you be like, oh, you want my grandma necklace? I'm like, oh, okay.
I can't believe you just glossed over what he just said.
Well, what did he say again? Because I'm fucked up.
He just said
No,
could
that he
go-
hadn't done that since 22.
No. That's not what he said. He said he could go the rest of his life without having sex.
Oh, you said that?
I could. Yeah.
Why?
I really don't need it.
We gotta wrap this shit up. Tavares is lit. He just asking a question, not even listening to the answers anymore. I'm like, what the hell does that grandma's necklace have anything to do with anything we just talked about? I'm like, Kelly just dropped freaking like the most reckless lie, like the craziest thing.
Damn.
Like Tavares, this whole episode
what
been
you
talking
brought
about
up.
we need sex 2 times a day, every day. Like if we don't have
said
sex
no
all the time, like I can never be with this person. Kelby just said I don't need to have sex for the rest of my life, and Tavares said, I got a meme on Facebook.
So does that mean you have a fear of intimacy? Maybe that's what it is. That's an Aquarius thing.
Ooh, that's a
Now
great
he-
call
okay,
out.
he's
All right,
back.
you can feel it.
It's a possibility. I actually fear. I do fear. I fear hurting people very badly.
Hurting them or getting hurt?
Hurting them. I
Why
fear
you think you gonna
hurting
hurt 'em?
people. I feel like there's something inside of me that could be a menace.
You feel unlovable?
No, I feel like somebody could love me and I won't love them back.
Why? That's the barrier.
Yeah,
You feel like you just incapable of loving?
I feel like I
Without
could
overthinking
because
it?
I have before in the past. There's one person specifically in my past that like took over my mind for like 10 years straight.
And you still traumatized from that, sound like.
I might be.
Damn.
I also think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kelby, there's so many like different variables that are not in your control because of the relationship you have with your parents that I think also affects connecting with someone for you. Because
The parent thing is real.
and like
It really is.
especially when
really
when you're
is.
talking about the trauma, I don't want to hurt people. I don't think it's genuinely because like you're gonna do something to hurt them. I think it's because certain people at a certain point it'll never get to a certain point. So
Yeah.
like them getting invested in you,
Yes.
that would be what hurts them.
'Cause
because
for
they won't
sure-
understand
Yes.
the reason.
Yes. Because for sure, 99% of people I date, I probably won't end up with. So for sure, I'm going to hurt them. So I'd rather just not.
But why you even entertain it then?
That's why I kind of don't.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got one last question, and then we'll wrap this up.
All right.
Okay. Expounding off of what you said, because you have an interesting relationship with your mom specifically, right?
Both parents.
Okay, because I've met plenty of guys who have challenged relationships with their mothers. And do you feel like either if you were giving somebody advice dating you or dating someone who had the similar background, do you think that's a red flag and they just shouldn't engage at all? Or do you think everybody should be given an opportunity to be loved?
I don't think they should engage.
You don't think they should engage?
No.
Damn.
What's the question? I don't understand.
So he's asking
If you meet somebody who has problems with their mom specifically, or like a bad relationship or whatever, should you continue to go down that path or leave it alone?
Well, I don't have problems with my parents. I think I honor them too much.
It's a
I
cultural
honor
thing.
I honor their wishes too much. So that's more my issue, more because I don't have necessarily beef with my parents,
Right.
But what they want is impossible to get, and so I just.
So you think somebody should leave you alone and not engage with you because you
Well,
have some certain trauma?
Or it's up to Kelby to only engage with people that fit the criteria.
Exactly.
What's the criteria?
I mean, it's a long list. It's a long list, and it's financial, it's status, it's religious, it's cultural. There's so many things.
What's your culture?
I'm Haitian.
Yeah, but it's like a certain. It's Christian, right?
Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a not a tiny religion, but it's not a
Yeah.
big enough one that you have a lot of options.
And there's also certain values that his parents and like even career path and their views on marriage and stuff like that, which is I think kind of difficult to find in this generation of. It's very traditional. So you would have to find somebody from the very specific culture that Kelby comes from.
Yeah, it has to be
fellow
a
Haitian
perfect match.
something.
Yeah. So for me, I think I know not to. I know that people shouldn't engage because I know from the jump, almost every single person I've ever dated, this is not going to end well for you. Because if you engage with me, there's a clock in my mind where I know this is not going to work out.
And is there any part of you that feels like you can adjust any of that, or are you content on the way you are?
Of course I can adjust.
You don't want to.
I just think it's hard for me to. I've settled in my mind that if it stays this way, it's totally fine.
I have a question, Kelby. Do you feel as if so I think you lead a content life, you know, you have a lot of things that you're happy with, and I don't think you're depressed. Obviously, we all have our moments of sadness and loneliness and all this kind of stuff. But do you feel like there's another level of happiness, success, like that could be unlocked with the right type of relationship?
Yeah, I do believe that. And I think that I'm in search of it, but I also understand what the odds are. I think
if you continue down the path of honoring everything my parents.
Exactly.
Right.
I think that because I think the average man has probably 5,000 options on earth that if they marry, they'll have the same outcome. You could go to a different country, find a similar girl that works for you. I think my odds are like 3.
But
you don't want to adjust any of that to broaden your horizon.
Well, it's not necessarily just. I think you have to understand that it's kind of insanity to
it seems
continue
like you're a
to go
prisoner
down
to
that
your
path.
own mind.
Yes,
Right.
yes, exactly. But
Expectations.
that's why I said if everything in my life stays the same, except for the fact that I'm gonna make a lot more money, I'm okay with that.
I don't think that's true, and I don't want that for you. I want you to be like happy for real, like
I mean, I'm not
in
sad.
a way that's not sad, but I think eventually, if you keep that mentality, to keep up with you, and you'll be like severely depressed.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I know for me, because I come from, a very similar culture, and my parents' views on me have always been affected me, right? And they've led to not having very successful relationships because it's really hard to get someone that isn't from that culture or have that same type of pressure. Mm-hmm. People don't understand that pressure that comes from like.
It's a lot of pressure.
And so there's like in deep like psychological kind of attachment, I guess, like where it's just like, man, they'll be disappointed, like that level of disappointment. And I think certain cultures relationship with parents. So like for me, one of the biggest things that I had to do was understand that I will never live up to what my parents version of what they want me to be is to be. And ultimately I could go my whole life trying to strive for this impossible version of who they want me to be, or I could understand that ultimately I have to focus on my happiness, and ultimately the person that I'm going to be with is going to be with me, right? And longer than my parents are going to be with me at this point, right? So that's kind of a choice that I had to make, which has opened up and given me a lot of like more positive, I guess.
Are you in therapy also, or no? You don't believe in it?
I know I don't disbelieve in therapy. I've tried it.
It didn't work.
I don't think that I found the right therapist, and I don't think I gave it enough time.
Are you in therapy?
7 years strong, boo.
Do you think it's important talking about therapy, because I think it's a big thing? Did the first therapist you went to, is that the one you ended up staying with this long?
No. So the first time I went to therapy was because me and my boyfriend were at an impasse, and it was a relationship therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And
you went with him or by
we
yourself?
Went together.
Okay.
And then we ended up breaking up because he ended up showing up to an appointment high, and they turned him away. And I was like, you don't take this serious.
Right.
So then I started going by myself.
Same therapist?
Same therapist.
Okay.
And then she ended up transferring to another company or something and starting her own practice or something out of state. And then I had to find another one. So then I took a break, and then I found another therapist because I felt like I just kept rubbing people the wrong way, and I wanted to see what that was about. Uh-huh. And then, that was that.
Yeah.
And then the last time was another reason I won't say. And then, so now, I still been with the same therapist. So
I have a question. So you're a big advocate for therapy, which you can tell.
Absolutely.
So for people who have never been to a therapist, for people who don't know where to start, might be, because I think the main reason why people don't go to therapy is because they're like, I don't even know what to talk about. Like, right. I don't even know, how to start. I don't even know who to find or if it's going to work out. What would be your advice to a novice person? Like, how do you get started? And then how should you prepare for that first visit, and what you should be looking for in a therapist?
I would say the first step is to make the decision that you want to do it, and you can identify something that you want to like explore or like adjust, or like, what is this thing,
like what you want to solve kind of thing?
Like, what if you keep running into a wall, you got to make a decision about what you're going to do. Okay. Are you going to change it or not? And then go from there.
Is there like, because I think sometimes people think, oh, my problems are too small.
Never. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes people don't even have friends, or you don't want people in your business, and you just need an outlet that's like unbiased and separate. So that could just be a thing. Therapy is not even always for somebody who has an issue. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to.
Okay.
So get out of the mentality that something has to be wrong, or that you're ill, or like something extreme.
It's just maintenance.
It's maintenance.
So let's say, okay, somebody comes to the decision, I think I need to go to therapy. I've seen the success with some of my friends that have been to therapy. How do you find the right therapist, and what you should be looking for?
So a therapist is also like dating.
Okay.
Because I've been to multiple therapists before I found ones that I settle with, and you can feel it right away. You like, I don't feel comfortable with this person. I don't feel like they identify. I don't feel like I can open up all the way, or I want to be vulnerable. So it's that thing. Mm-hmm. And then you have to make the decision that you actually want to open up and tell the truth. Because I know people who are in therapy who still lie to the therapist or withhold information and don't want to go all the way.
Right.
You have to be open because it's only helping or hurting you.
Right.
So
that's really good because I think the stigma on therapy is starting to change, which is a great thing.
And guess what? It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm the problem.
For sure.
Or I need to change this or whatever. Like
Right.
nobody wants to
everybody
feel whatever, but you have to go through that time of
And I think it's also extremely scary to be vulnerable in front of like a total stranger, right?
Yeah, and you also get comfortable in chaos. And you learn how to like operate in that, but like then you start to learn healthy ways and you're like, this don't feel good. It's like, why he ain't kicking my door in? You know, you associate. Like, bitch, I like that.
Yeah, okay. You associate that with like
drama.
That's love.
Absolutely.
So can you give to people that haven't been in therapy what that first session's like, what those sessions are like, what to expect?
Well, once I found a therapist that I felt comfortable with, my very first session, I cried like a baby. And it was extremely uncomfortable.
What kind of questions are they asking?
Well, not even the first session. The first session is more of like an intake. So they're taking stock of like, they'll ask you like, what brought you here? What do you want to work on? They'll ask you certain things about your relationship with your parents or your past or something. And then maybe like by the third session, you start diving into certain things. Okay. So that's when it gets real. Cause they like, okay, well tell me about this. And you're like, oh, bitch, I ain't come here for that. I came here for one problem, but y'all want to go to the root.
Right.
You know, so that's what it is.
What do you think for you? Were you initially comfortable opening up?
I was ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew something had to change.
That's great.
And I wanted different for my life.
I think, it's funny because we'll go to a doctor for regular checkups and things like that, but for some reason we think like the
saying
mental
stuff
side,
out loud is hard. And sometimes I'll ask my therapist a question, even though a therapist is not supposed to give you an answer. They really supposed to make you repeat it so you can hear how it sounds and give yourself the answer. But I say stuff out loud and I'd be like, why would you even say that? Or why would you think that? But it's a space to be open and safe and vulnerable and to just figure it out,
So do you feel like going to the same therapist for 7 years? That's like,
I haven't been to the same one. I've been to like 3 different ones.
Oh, okay.
Years.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for a new one now.
Gotcha. So that you don't expect to be with the same thing. Like you got to.
No, I think I hit a plateau with this one. Like right now it's more like just talking and like getting stuff out. But I feel like now I want to go deeper where I don't think they could take me. But I also think I need to be with a therapist where I'm paying out of pocket and not on my insurance, because I feel like those are probably the better ones.
Gotcha.
So
get what you pay for.
But yeah, so
you're saying don't go to BetterHelp and just text somebody for free.
You should start somewhere. and
the sponsors of this.
Okay, for real. But that's all I got for y'all.
I love it.
Man, we appreciate you coming back to the show. Anytime you're on the West Coast, come back. This seat is always available for you. Even if we have another guest, we're always happy to have Tavares come and stop by on the Men on the Internet podcast.
Thank y'all for having me.
We had a good time. And y'all, do me a favor. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, click the like button. It helps out a lot to make sure that other people can watch this episode. If you love us, follow us on social media. Follow Tavares. What's your handle again?
You can find me on Instagram at your daddy house, because that's where I'm at. You can also find my podcast at Rated MA Podcast, RATED MAPODCAST.
And another thing, we are starting to do something new with the podcast. You guys are seeing the Instagram reels and the TikTok reels and things like that. But if you start paying attention to the YouTube, we're starting to get more content there. So if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube, please go over and do that. Share those videos, write comments, like those, really help us get into the algorithm. And, we have some real interesting content up there.
All right. Just like that, that was this episode of the Men on the Internet podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you saw, please make sure to subscribe to us on Instagram at MOI Podcast. And please check us out on our YouTube channel by searching Men on the Internet Network.